Hey. Sounds like a record, though.
Yo! What is up, Z-Bot? I always screw this up. Rico. Friday afternoon on the Buffalo Fanatics YouTube channel. Rico, baby. 6 days away from
Hey-o.
How you feeling, brother?
Are you excited? I'm feeling all right. We're feeling good. Mock drafts are still coming out. People are not sure if they want to double dip, if they want a single dip, if they want to dip to the back of the line. You just don't know what people want to do. That's the beauty of this upcoming draft. 6 days away. Are you excited? I am.
I cannot wait. It's finally here. I'm sick and tired of talking about it. As I'm sure the little man is, well. He's probably sick and tired of Dad talking about it too.
Listen, I talk about it all damn day. It doesn't stop, and he hears it all the time. I'm trying to shoo him away. I don't know how he got back in this room, but we here now.
Look at him. What is he here now? Who does he think the Bills are taking in the first round?
We here now.
Is he?
I don't know how he's looking, but we in it. We in it now.
Everybody's got an opinion, Rico. Is the fam weighed in? What do they think the Bills are doing next week?
Well, they just don't want Josh Allen and the Bills to lose again. That's what my daughters associate the Bills with losing big games, and it sucks because they're like, oh, the Bills gonna lose again? Is it Pat Mahomes? Are we playing Patrick Mahomes? Oh, I hate playing that guy. Why do we have to play it? Because we got to go through Pat Mahomes to win. That's it, my girl. I'm sorry. That's it.
Caroline, it's always a variety of things with us. It's either, is every game the biggest game? Is every game the biggest game of the year? Or it's do they ever win these big games? And you just look like you're like this.
Just be quiet.
You can't say anything.
Just watch the game and be quiet.
And it's like you're sitting there. The worst was the Eagles game. When I literally involuntarily fell on the floor. We're talking about like 230 there, just falling dead weight on the floor. On the top floor of this building. And our good friends live right downstairs. They texted, what's going on? Well, they knew it was going on. They had the game on.
Is the vibe the same when you watch your game from where you, because you recently moved to Connecticut. So from where you were watching in your old place with Pops and everybody to where you are now, is it the same vibe? Can it be the same vibe? Have you created the same vibe? Or is it different?
That's a great question. I've created my own vibe, but it's certainly different. And it's not the same. I drove home. It was only 2, but for the last 2 years now that we've been here, I have driven home for all the playoff games. And I would say that the majority of the big games, like for instance, week 18 last year, Bills Dolphins, drove home for that to watch with Dad. If it's huge, I'm with Dad. I make my own environment here because I have to, and it's fine. It's more than fine. And Caroline is certainly got into it enough now to where it's serviceable, but you can't replicate what you grew up with for 20 years. You know what I mean?
Can't. I think the tradition for me is I say about 75% of the game. I'd say 60% of the game, 65% of the game. I'm standing up. I can't just sit down and enjoy the game. I don't know if you guys watch Bills games. Can you sit the whole game? I can't. 65% of the time I'm on my feet. I'm either squat in a 2-point stance. I mean, depending on how intense the game gets, I might get a 3-point stance. I don't know. It gets pretty nasty, bro.
Sometimes I get right down. Yeah, like you said, 3-point stance. I got my right foot twitching. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to break off the line. I'm waiting for the snap. You know what I mean? I like it. And it's crazy. Like, I was just thinking about this. So today's April 19th. Drafts next week, but it's really all starting to start up again. Like, for instance, a lot of the big spring football games are this weekend. Michigan has their spring football game tomorrow. We got the draft next week. We got our OTA starting up. And you're going to blink here once the weather gets nice, summer rolls around. I mean, it's going to be football time here soon. We got the NBA playoffs and the Stanley Cup, and once that's over, It's going to be right back into football season, man. It's pretty quick how crazy things went this.
I was about to say, because like we all dread how the season comes to an end. You're like, oh, here we go, the off season. I feel like this off season was a little different. I feel like it went by rather quickly.
Yes.
And we're right back in. I don't. Does it feel like that? It doesn't feel like a long off season.
Well, let's give our perspective, right? Because for us, as soon as the season ends, we love coming on here, obviously. Like so like that in itself powers us to come on here. We can't not come on, right? We love to do this. But it is significantly harder when there's a month gap or so with just nothing to talk about. The reason why I think it went so fast, Rico,
right?
Every damn week with these Bills this offseason, it was something not only worth talking about, it was major news. And you and I will constantly text, will be like, man, what are you talking about next week? And all of a sudden, oh, Boyer's gone. Morris is gone. Gabe Davis is gone. Stephon Diggs is gone. Stephon Diggs tweeted again. You know, like it was nonstop. So I think this offseason, at least I've been doing this now in 7 years, 8, 9 years, right? Probably. I don't know how which is that in itself is crazy, by the way. That's insane.
It is pretty nuts. We've been at it. We've been at it just a little longer because you've been doing it for a while yourself. So
I just looked. The reason I looked is because I wanted to go back and see if I was right here. Because I think this is the craziest offseason I've experienced doing this. And I went back and looked, and I'm like, damn, it has really been that long. But this is one of, if not the craziest offseason that I've experienced doing, YouTube and whatnot.
I think one of the offseasons that was pretty crazy when the offseason that we signed John Brown and Cole Beasley, because we started to get weapons for Josh Allen, and we're like, oh, this is the year, and that was like, okay, let's ramp up and stuff. And right now, as I look to see how quickly, you're right though, man, there was a lot of headlines that allowed us to stay within the game. I mean, for crying out loud, I'm going to talk about Diggs and his tweeting. I was like, man, he needs to relax. You know what I mean? Just chill out. All of a sudden, Diggs traded. I was like, yo, stop playing with me. And all of a sudden,
I know you were live for that.
And listen, craziness. So yes, this offseason has been great. This offseason has had its ups and downs. And now we're into OTAs, voluntary, of course. And I think everybody showed up. I don't think anybody was a no-show.
So, I don't think anybody can be a no-show, Rico, right now, because everybody on this damn roster, for the most part, has got to earn their spot to some degree. I don't think there's many people on this roster outside of JA-17 who we saw take the podium yesterday. I don't think there's anybody in any position to not be able to take the voluntary workout serious this year. And the Bills are in a whole new chapter, as Josh Allen addressed yesterday, which is refreshing to hear. We've been talking about the chapter being switched, the page being flipped here on Josh Allen's career into the next stage. He was asked about that yesterday, and he said he feels that, that's the situation that he's in. And I don't know how you couldn't. He flat out came out and said, I've never played here without Jordan Poyer, haven't played without Mitch Morris. He talked extensively about the switch in center, which is a very underrated yet massive switch. If you're a quarterback, that's a very high level of comfortability that you get used to, and that's switched. But yeah, when you look at it right now at this stage of the game for the Bills, this is a pivotal time of year because they have a lot of changes and a lot of things that they need to get dialed in right, including a week from last night. A lot of things they got to get down pat and right in order for this season to be one that meets our expectations, which of course are just ever growing at this point.
The expectations are high. Everyone I wouldn't say it should be on edge per se. I don't know if it's an on edge situation, but the one thing, we're going to get into it in terms of what we took away from the Josh Allen presser, et cetera, but we knew that once the big transition was made from Diggs moving on to now this is Josh's team, we knew that there's going to be some big leaps that this team is going to have to make at the coaching level, at the GM level, like every level on this team from the players. Everyone's got to take a step forward in their growth. They got to take a step forward in their maturity. There's a whole lot of things that has to happen. Brandon Beane, how are you going to build this team without the focal point in the receiver room and Stephon Diggs? So now you can really go anywhere in this situation. Okay, so what do you do at the quarterback position? How much do you need from Josh Allen? McDermott, are you going to learn from the last 6 years you've been here? Like, this is year 7. This is massive. This is a massive year, massive offseason. And everybody has got their popcorn ready to see what we're going to get from these Bills. Which makes me then transition to asking you, what do you anticipate from this Bills team this offseason?
So speaking of like sitting back and like thinking about, oh, we got X amount of time to this, X amount of time to that. You want to know what just hit me that I realize is right around the corner. In fact, it should be probably 3 weeks from yesterday is the schedule reveal, which I love that. I love the schedule reveal. To me, that's like one of those little hidden gems in the offseason that really excites me, because then it starts to feel real. It all starts to come together.
Oh, that's facts.
You can start to anticipate the big games. You can start taking a look at how the season could possibly unfold depending on which game is where. So I think once that happens, which should be in about 3 weeks or so, it's been anywhere between the first or second week of May the last several years. That's when I'll really start to feel the vibe, I think, because this schedule is very difficult for these Buffalo Bills, especially in the non-division, the non-conference games this year. I'll pull it up and we could talk about it real quick, because that's one thing that I think every year is a big factor on a team. My expectation level right now, as far as the overall outcome, has not changed. At least in the drastic comparison that everybody else is making, where they have the Bills in third place in the division, which is just killing me. I can't for the life of me understand how people can come to that conclusion based on what we've seen from the other teams. But when you look at this schedule right here, Rico, now of course, these are just the opponents. We'll know in about 3 weeks, like I said, where all these games will land. Okay. But, at home, you got the reigning NFC champs. You, of course, have the Super Bowl champs and the Chiefs coming to the Bills Stadium for the first time in the regular season with fans ever under Patrick Mahomes. And then you got a Houston Texans team who is going to be, in my opinion, a Super Bowl caliber team going into the season. Baltimore Ravens, of course, were in the AFC Championship last year. And then, you have to think that the Jets are going to at least be more competitive than they were a season ago with a healthy Aaron Rodgers and a bolstered roster. And then the Detroit Lions here you see as well, who I think very easily could have gone to, if not won, the Super Bowl had they hung on to a massive halftime lead against the San Francisco 49ers. So this is a schedule that is, pretty damn gauntlet-esque when you're talking about a Bills team that might be a lot different than years past.
I'm looking at the NFC. I'm strictly looking at the NFC teams, and Arizona is going to be vastly improved. Kyler Murray makes that team completely different. They've got quite a few picks. I'm hoping that the Bills may strike something with them with their second round pick. Potentially, maybe we trade back. Who knows? I played something in my mind, a scenario. But I'm looking at what the 49ers. You already know what time it is, Brett. Purdy is the real deal. Like, I don't care. Mr. Irrelevant is quite relevant right now in the NFC. So you got the NFC West that we're gonna face up against. There's no slouch. The Rams are gonna look to bounce back. Didn't they make the playoffs? They're a playoff team.
Yep.
So Seattle, we're gonna find out what Seattle's made of. Geno Smith is gonna return. So the NFC alone,
sure,
is already a tough division. And now we got to face the gauntlet of the AFC. Jacksonville, Tennessee is going to be rather much improved. You already know our division is going to be improved no matter what. Then you got the Houston Texans, you got the Indianapolis Colts with their second-year player, rookie from last year, coming back at Richardson. Dude, now the question you know what time it is. You said, here's another thing too. How the NFL manages to steal 12 months of the year. Every there's always something going on in the NFL that they've got to have the headlines. A freaking schedule release has people doing schedule release parties.
Oh yeah,
just to find out what the hell and who the hell we're going to play. So this in itself is going to be an event. So it's just going to be massive to see in the AFC how we deal. And then now you're going to have predictions. How many games will the Bills win when you're looking at who they play, what week they play? Is week 1, who's week 2, who's week 7 after the bye? How many primetime games do we get? By the way, I'm sure there's going to be bets on that. But so much content can be created just by this silly damn schedule release. It pisses me off, but it's exciting at the same time.
I mean, there's so many primetime games that pop up. I mean, there's no doubt that the Texans game will be primetime. It's a guarantee. The Chiefs game will be at least 425 at the minimum, primetime more than likely.
That's 2 right there.
Niners will at least be 425. I mean, that's the thing that last year was drastically different than a year prior with the amount of 425 games. I think the Bills played, 425 games last year? But if you're just looking at it right now, I would anticipate the Niners game, either 425 or primetime, Chiefs 425 or primetime, Jacksonville 425 or primetime, Ravens same. I could very easily see the Bills playing the Lions again on Thanksgiving.
Oh boy, yeah.
That could be in the cards because I think that's going to be an incredible game.
So you're pretty much going to be you have to pretty much grab what 1 o'clock games are going to be played.
That's probably the best way to put it. I would say you probably pencil in the 2 Patriots games at 1 o'clock. Probably
one of the Jets games.
One of the Jets games. The Cardinals game because it's at home.
Yeah.
Probably the Colts game. I would anticipate.
Seattle's
on the road.
Be a primetime game. You never know.
That's 425, I bet, Rico, because it's on the road. Same with the Rams. The West Coast time. Yeah, I mean, that's the world we're in now. I mean, the 1 o'clock games, I bet you we probably have five 1 o'clock games max.
And here's the crazy part. There are folks that wholeheartedly don't like primetime games. They'd rather have a 1 p.m. game. Let me have my afternoon. Let me have my afternoon to relish in the win. And let's talk about football on Sunday night. Let's talk about football Monday morning because my team played. I want them to talk about my team. Now, primetime has us having to stay up late. Do we have to take a day off? Me, I'm always having to take a day off. These damn primetime games are killing me. But here we are. So it's a whole event, man.
And we're probably going to see, since we're on the big wide receiver kick lately in Buffalo, just looking at these opponents, the Cardinals are probably going to get one of those top receivers. Very well could be Marvin Harrison. The Patriots could get one of those. The Titans could get one of those. The Colts could get one of those. I guarantee you we'll be seeing a lot of these big names we're going to be hearing next week on Thursday night. We're going to be seeing them up close and personal, Rico. Hopefully at least one of them is up close and personal week in and week out for these Buffalo Bills.
Well, this is going to be exciting. By the way, just to give a quick shout out to everybody tuned in right now. Salute to everybody. And also, folks, the draft being around the corner, your boy Rico, your boy Z-Bot, my man Kevin, our guy Kevin, Pierre will be live streaming the draft. You guys already know what time it is. Kevin, who knows what kind of reaction Kevin's going to have? Who knows what kind of Z-Bot reaction we're going to get? Because Z-Bot sometimes gets a little intense and just will throw the mic all over the
place. You hear anything from the defensive side of the ball get thrown, I might throw my whole body.
I'm gonna tell you that right now. If I hear guard center with the 28th pick, we're gonna lose it. We're gonna riot. But listen, if you guys know what time it is, if you guys have been joining us for years, you guys already know what kind of fun that we have. Join us Thursday night live. We're gonna be talking draft. We're gonna be graphics. My man Bobby is creating graphics as we speak.
He always kills it, man. He does. I forgot about that aspect. It's a spectacle. Every year it's a damn spectacle. We can't wait to have you.
Absolutely. And last but not least, Carl Jones. He's gonna be in the media room. So I said, listen, man, we might call you and I might text you and say, hey, any nuggets? And he goes, listen, man, my text is you could text me anytime. And if I got some, I'm gonna hit you up and let you know. So we might even get some nuggets on what the vibe is like in the war room or in the media room. We shall see. If I see somebody running up to the podium, yo, what are you thinking? What are they yelling about? Maybe we'll get something. So join us, draft this next Thursday to start it off. And then here we go. Day 1, day 2, and day 3. What a long weekend that's going to be. I dread it. Love it at the same time, but dread it at the same time because boy, oh boy, it's going to be rough.
And I got a wedding to go to at home.
Oh, you son of a gun.
On Saturday. How shitty is that?
Yeah, so guess what? Rico's going to be on his own doing the draft. So you guys are going to be hanging out with me. You know what? I might even bring my man Rev on. Rev might come on and dap it up with us. But whose wedding are you going to, buddy?
My buddy Phil, up back in Rochester. Got to go back home.
There you go.
I mean, someone should have told him, listen, buddy, the draft's on. I mean, he's a Dolphins fan, so it checks out. But, people need to take these things into consideration. These big, people don't take into consideration when they're planning their weddings, when they're planning their big family events. There's football things that need to be dealt with here, gang.
Tyler H., you're full of shit. I ain't gonna be losing if the Bills go center guard at 28.
I was gonna say when you said that, it's the one thing outside of wide receiver that I wouldn't be like, oh hell yeah, but I wouldn't throw the mic.
Really? Because I would.
The only reason I wouldn't is just because I feel like if there was a player, and the reason I don't see it happening, I don't think that there is a player at 28 that's going to be that high up on Brandon Beane's draft board to take at that spot.
For sure.
But it is the one area to me that if you could shore up for the foreseeable future, I mean, that would be awesome. That's something in the top, in the beginning of the draft. I was talking to a Jets fan the other night. That's where he wants to go, as opposed to going Brock Bowers or wide receiver. And it's the responsible move to make because, if you are able to lock that down, typically it's not like these wide receiver picks or these running back picks. Oh, I hope we get them past the 5th year. If you are able to lock down your solid lineman in the first 2 rounds, that's typically a long endeavor that you go on with that player, which is what I love about the pick. But just because of where the Bills are drafting and the talent around that area at that position, I don't see it. It's when I hear anything on the defensive side of the ball, Rico, at that spot, I'm going to absolutely lose my mind.
Well, I'll tell you this. I ain't going to be thrilled. If we grab a Powers Johnson. I mean, listen, as solid and as great and as elite that this player can be, to me, in my opinion, I think a lot of people share my opinion here, or maybe not. If you don't, cool, depending on where they get drafted. But I like that comparison, by the way, Shaq and Kobe. And as long as you let me be Kobe, we're good.
I was going to say I'd love to be Shaq. I love to be. Can I tell you why I'd love to be Shaq? It's got nothing to do with what he does on the court, which of course is, I mean, that type of center is gone. I mean, now you got Nikola Jokic bringing the ball up like Curry and shooting it from the half court line. So those days are done. And I do love the modern center. I think it's probably the best aspect of the NBA right now. But Shaq in my lifetime has got to be the biggest sports mogul of my life. I don't know. I don't even know if it's quite close. That man, from a business perspective, is the most successful. Is it even comparable? You can't turn the Shaq hasn't bounced a ball in what? 15 years?
Long time.
And that man, you can't turn on the television, Rico, without seeing Shaq. There's not a bad thing I can say about Shaq. I love him.
That's great. Listen, I'll lob it up, man. You take that thing and nuts on everybody's faces. But let me get back to my guy that said you're a casual. Yeah, I like this. You're a casual if you're mad if we get center, especially Powers Johnson.
I hate that word. It always hits to the core, Rico.
It doesn't hit me. It don't hit me. It's they just throw it out because I don't know this brother from a hole in the wall, but a lot of these guys that Powers Johnson is because they hear a lot of other people talk about Powers Johnson and they get sold on if you take this player and you shouldn't be mad. I need someone that's going to be an immediate impact player right now. And if I have to wait or, hey, he has to compete, I'm not interested. I'm not interested in that. When Kaiir Elam got drafted, I needed that brother to start right off the bat, and he didn't, and he's still not being able to start. So if you're going to be a first-round draft pick and I got a fifth-year option on you, in my opinion, I need to see immediate impact right off the bat. Your first 2 rounds at least, I need a contributor. If you're just going to sit and you're going to compete and you're going to lose it, I'm not interested in that. You could wait for that. Like if we did not replace Mitch Morse, boom, I get it. Well, Connor McGovern was in the plans. He was in the plans from the get-go. So as soon as Mitch Morse was out of here, get that brother in that center. So I ain't no casual, but I still wouldn't be too pleased with that. But neither here nor there. But I like the Shaq and Kobe comparisons. I'll take that. I'll take that comp all day.
It wouldn't excite me. I mean, that's for sure.
It's not going to excite anyway. It's not sexy.
I feel like on the live stream, if that happens, you're just going to see a whole lot of, all right, yeah, okay.
No, what you'll see is shut down. I'm going to shut that thing down. I'm out of here. I'll see you guys in a bit.
Yeah, I gotta go dry my tears.
Yeah, exactly right.
Let me ask you a question.
What's up, man?
What are your thoughts on tapas?
Tapas.
They do tapas out in Canada.
What in the heck is a tapa?
It's like the small Spanish plates. It's like a dining style. Tapas. It's like the menu is all small plates.
Tapas.
Yeah. No,
unless it's another word for it, but I've never heard of tapas.
Keep it that way. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. I can't get over this. It happened 2 nights ago. I still can't get over it. So, like I said, we got friends downstairs, good friends of ours. We go out with them pretty good amount down here. And we left it up to them where we're going the other night, right? And we go to this joint in Connecticut, Tapas place. And you know that place when you walk in and you know the credit card is just gonna be faded when by the time you walk out. I mean,
you're
that's
afraid to give it up. Ugh, take it.
Here's why. Okay, this is the biggest sham going right now. The Tapas. Okay, so we go out with 6 of us. You sit at this big ass booth, right? And everything you order is a small plate, meaning it comes out on like a side dish that you would serve like a cup of coffee on type shit, right? And it's not like it's priced that way. It's all like 10 to 15 bucks, right? So we go out the other day and we order, there's 6 of us. We'll try this. We'll get this. And I'm sitting here the whole time and I'm thinking to myself, you guys got to be out of your mind. I mean, you people got to be out of your mind. At the end of the day, Rico, 6 people, the bill comes. It's insane. The
$500.
I probably had five forks full of food. I can't get over it, and everyone there was loving it. They were loving it. Listen, I'm very easily pleased, but it has to be like, to me, you go out, you get your own damn thing, and that's that. And if you want to get a couple appetizers, all right, yeah, I'm down with that. You know, I won't turn that down. You know what I'm saying? With this, you got 6 grown-ass human beings eating off of like children's plates. And here's the other thing. You got to like, let me reach my fork over your arm to go and try this bite of a croquette. Like, I don't even know what we're doing here. And the whole time I'm sitting here and I'm just saying, I'm like, this is what I said to our friend. I said, let me ask you this. I'm a businessman. I come to you, right? Mind you, she's eating during this whole thing. This is how pissed I am. And I'm trying to do it in a way where I'm not being a total douche.
Not a dickhead.
So I'm saying, let me ask you a question. I come to you, right? You're a venture capitalist. I got a business idea, right? And I say to you, here's the business idea. Okay. We're going to open up a joint where everything that you order on the menu comes in bite-sized pieces, right? Comes out like less than a kid's menu. I mean, I'm talking less than a Happy Meal. Way less. So this is the business idea. We're gonna serve people morsels of food on like teacup style plates, and we're gonna charge $15 a plate for this. I said, is this something you'd want to invest in? Do you think this is a smart business venture here? Do you think that this is something people would be interested in? Bold face looks at me, says yes.
Straight up.
And yes. Everybody, and then I feel like the idiot because everybody there, they're all in it. They're all in on it. But I can't get this out of my mind, man. This experience the other day was just, that's why I wanted to see if you've ever done it before. Because my God, I've
never done it, but now that you've told me about it, anytime that it comes up, I'm in.
Well,
just to see what it's like.
Yes. The problem is that like the food is all you never know what you're ordering either. It's not even diet food. Because everything's deep fried or like just soaked in oil.
But right? Did it taste good?
I mean, the 1 or 2 bites I was able to enjoy. Yeah. And that's the other thing too. Like I was raised where it's like, you go get your food once everybody else has kind of gotten the food, right? You're not first in line. Me and my dad forever, we would always notice the first in line guy, always. And we know a couple of first in line guys well, you know. They stand out, right? Now, Caroline's in a different situation, but not because she's a stand in line gal. It's because she's one of 6. So eating growing up one of 6, that's like going to the kennel and throwing the food on the ground. And if you either get up and eat
house rules.
Exactly. So for me, it's like once the food gets laid down, I'm not going to be the guy to be like, oh, don't mind if I do. I'm going to jump in here.
Let me, and they're the first one to grab a little fork and just scoot over just a little bit. Let me grab that one right there. Oh, that's the juicy one. Knock it off.
Oh, that's the big piece.
Knock it off.
And here's the other thing, Rico, too, when they bring it out, it's got like 3 pieces on it. So you're like cutting it in half. It's like, oh, am I going to be the guy to take the full one here? You know what I mean? Is that what we're going to do?
You'll be that guy.
Right. And A-Lips is saying it best. He's like, Zvi doesn't have brothers. I don't. And you can tell because when you grow up in that environment, like my fiance did, it's a whole different mentality. And I get that. But I also think there's a difference between being with the fam and it's like, oh, it's your brothers and sisters. We're dogging it out. We're dogging it out for the food. Sure. But when you're out with the friends and you're sitting at a massive table and everybody's got to do the musical chairs here to get a bite of food. Etiquette.
Here's the worst part. So you're dissatisfied with the food, with the portions, and now it's time to pay the bill.
This is where we come full circle, Rico. If the portions were where they were, and they price it as if it was a full price meal, that's what it kills me. Because if the portions were $5, all right, I'm all about this. Well, we'll I have no problem doing this because we are gonna get what I think to be equal value here. But they get you on. You want to know what it is? It's like everything else nowadays. It's the experience.
It's where they get you. It's the
experience. Oh, the Tapas experience. I come to find out that this isn't even a real thing in Spain, really. And I've been to Spain. I wasn't seeing everybody eating off the small plates. Everybody was having a grand old time over there.
That's how they get the Westerners. The Westerners are they're not familiar with that. That's what they call us, Westerners.
They
love it. Look at them. They're eating all that stuff. It's not really anything serious about it.
We are the most easily manipulated people on the planet. It is incredible.
It's because of the experience. They build the experience for you to do all these things. Like who wants to go bungee jump, right? It's the experience. They'll pay to get all this thing and the thing is done in 30 seconds,
right?
And you just paid a whole wad for that experience. It's all about the experience. It's like, and it comes full circle because the Bills put you through an experience. Every game you watch with the Bills is an experience.
Right.
Even if they lose, it's an experience. And you come back for more. For you, especially because you're a young buck, 20 years you've been doing this. You came back for the experience. You came back for the moment with your pops. It's experience to get you.
Because it's an experience worth having, damn it. Like Signified saying here. I couldn't agree with this more. He goes, and don't get it twisted. The experience does matter, but it's about a good experience. A good experience. He's saying the Chick-fil-A experience is part of the reason why I think they're the best fast food chain. I couldn't agree more. I go to Chick-fil-A. I feel like I'm going over to my grandma's house. I mean, it's incredible.
The plate is heavier than the food.
It is. It is. I think they do that on purpose to make it feel like you're getting hooked up. Signifies right on.
Good.
Yeah. Oh, a little girth to this. We're actually getting our money's worth here. But Chick-fil-A, you pull up. I'll never forget. I pull up to this one Chick-fil-A out in like Carolina somewhere. We're on the road. And I pull up and they just dropped this new. I could tell this lady because they got people out in the drive-thru. Have you been to a Chick-fil-A? They got that up in Canada?
Chick-fil-A? We have one in Toronto, and I have my own Chick-fil-A stories about that, but go on.
So they have people out in the drive-thru talking to you, which is incredible to me. I mean, because I'm used to stepping over vomit and shit in the local McDonald's, just trying to get up to the kiosk to order a McDouble. You go to Chick-fil-A, it's like 5-star, and they got people out in the drive-thru like talking to you, holding your hand through the whole process. How's your day? How's the kids? And I pull up and I just love this one lady. She was like a 65-year-old, maybe even 70-year-old, like legitimate like grandma type vibe, and they had just dropped this new like ice cream thing or whatever. And I asked her, I go, man, you got to tell me, how is this thing? She just goes, and the honesty, I don't know why I remember this so fondly, but she just goes, honey, it could use a little bit of salt.
That's it.
Just like that. And I was like, And you could tell the sincerity because she wasn't like, oh, you got to try this the best. She was like, honey, it could use a little bit of salt with a big smile. And I was just like, where? You imagine going up to the McDonald's cashier and being like, what's up with the McFlurry? And they're just like, I don't know. The machine's
broken.
Yeah. Order and get the hell out of here. Right. So he's spot on. But the key here is if you're paying for an experience, the experience has to be worth the bill.
Let me tell you something. I went to visit my sister in Alabama, and she was like, and I said, the first thing I need to do is go to Chick-fil-A. All I see is Chick-fil-A commercials here in Canada. Chick-fil-A this, Chick-fil-A that, and the service, the that. I was like, I need me some Chick-fil-A. So here I go. Their system, somebody just mentioned the drive-through system. It's a wraparound system. I was like, what? What is this? It's a wraparound system, and you start from the outside and you work your way in and you get out. They do an amazing job. I honestly gained I think I gained 6.5 to 7 pounds in the 7 days that I visited my sister because I was eating Chick-fil-A every other day. I was amazed with Chick-fil-A. The experience, fantastic. And that's it. Listen, I'm on board. I'm all over board. So to me, at the end of the day, what it comes down to is, you said it, experience. But I need to come full circle because I need to know how much you pay for your experience with those tapas.
The bill after tip was $400. Are you starting to feel me now a little bit? Like, anybody out there who's thinking, oh, Bot's just bitching up a storm, complaining on a Friday. Like, you imagine getting served, for instance, the steak. Look, I'm a grown ass bearded man.
$400.
Okay.
How many of you guys were there?
6. The steak comes out on a plate the size of your pointer finger down to the base of your thumb. And there's like 6 individual bite-sized pieces of steak on it. And they're thinking, well, we ladled a little bit of basil pesto over it, so it's worth the price tag.
Bro,
I had one bite of it.
They're making a killing.
Oh, and you
Westerners are coming in and making a killing. The experience is what you got. So my last question on this is, and this is always my beef, whenever it's time to pay, how do you guys, I hate to, all right, so you had that and you had this. I can't stand it. Like, it needs to be established right off the bat. How we gonna figure this thing out? I hate having to figure it out. Okay, but you had this, right? No, I didn't have that. So let's okay, so you guys can split. I'm not interested in that. Hate it. We need to figure this out. Or I'm the type of person I'll say, yo, I'll pay and y'all just hit me back afterwards. I'm not doing this at the table. I don't know about y'all in there. I can't stand it. I'll be sitting there and be like, oh, let's do it. I can't do the awkwardness of and I know I have some cheap friends that be like, hold on, I didn't have that. That was you. I'm not taking my bill.
Do that. You can't do that.
That wasn't mine. You had a bite out of it. So you're paying me $13 out of that, bro.
That person is worse than the first in line person.
Don't bring that person with you.
That person is like, I didn't get a soda, so you can chop $2.50 off of mine. And it's like,
bro,
is the $2.50 worth you sounding like this much of a damn bum right now? Is it worth the price of admission? But what our unwritten rule is, we go out with these guys a lot. And what we do, chivalry ain't dead on this side, Rico. It's all the boys. We all put the card down. So it's usually split out depending on how many of the men of the household are in attendance.
I kind of like that. All right, I can roll with that.
Because we don't even talk about it. It's just an instant thing.
Done. And then that's what it is.
Yes.
And then next time is you, or next time is you. I just can't do this.
This is what I said. I legitimately said this. I said next time, if you even so much as suggest that we go to a tapas bar, you are going to feel the wrath of 1,000 suns.
You're out of here.
Yes. And the crazy thing to me is look, I don't think that food was meant to be eaten off of somebody else's plate for an hour and a half. That's what you're doing, because there's only so much space on the table. So inevitably, you're going to have a few things in front of you. So the majority of the time, it's just people reaching across. Oh, let me take a little taste. Let me take a little taste here. Let me get a little bite here. And I'm sitting there once again, and I'm like, I'm not going to be the guy that's like, oh, you wanted some of the steak here? Sorry, gang. I just put down the whole 6 pieces they brought over to the table.
Yeah, I'm not interested. So if you ever tell me, hey, Rick, you want to go to Tapas? Bro, I'd rather go to Arby's and chill out and get myself some beef burger and call it a day. You know what I mean?
Charles, it was 3 men, it was 6 total, 3 men, 3 gals. So that usually the way we do it is it's always just how it goes. Bill comes down, every guy just throws their thing in, throws their hat in the ring, and then that's that. Truth to hearts, baby. What's happening?
That's how it should be. Z-Bot.
Yeah.
Football chatter. Are we ready to get back into it or what?
Ready when you are, baby. I just had to see if you
listen. I'm with you.
The Tapas.
I'm with you, and I can't wait to share an experience that I've had. But we have many stories. Like I said, folks, if you guys think that this is just a football podcast, it's not. We talk about everything under the sun, and that's what we're trying to. I mean, I'm not saying we're trying to deviate away from just talking football, but there comes a time where you can just talk. You get to know content creators outside of just talking football. You know what I'm saying? You get to kind of catch us. I mean, you've been following us for years now, so you kind of have an idea of what I'm like. You kind of have an idea of what my man Z-Boss like. So now we bring it together, Shaq and Kobe, lob up, boom. That's how we do it. So this will give you my man came back with it. You cocked it back like NBA Jam. What?
Oh yeah, with the fire blazing out of me, and you just pause on top of the rim for like 5 full seconds and come down with it.
Don't get me into video game talk. That's my thing, man. The other day, actually, before we get into football talk, I was just talking to my wife the other day, and I was like, I'm 39 right now, and I'll be pushing 40. My mind is still like a 21-year-old. I'm like, yo, I need to, like, when am I gonna make some time to go play some video games downstairs? I haven't played Madden in a minute. I haven't played Call of Duty, but then I forget that I'm an adult and I have to take care of children. And I'm like, what a transition to go from like you're getting older and you still want to do some old shit that you used to do back in the day.
Hell yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's craziness. Like one of these days, hoodies are gonna have to go.
No,
I'm not ready for that yet. I'm not ready for that yet.
If you went into my closet, it's embarrassing. It's up to the ceiling. I am the biggest hoodie guy on the planet. That's my favorite
what I do.
Yes.
But there's going to come a time where you got to stop the hoodies and sweats when you get to an age. The question is, what age does the hoodie and sweat stop?
Dude, hell,
you're going to go at one point.
You're going to be 40, dude. You can do whatever the hell you want. Are you shitting me?
Am I going to turn into the guy that's wearing khakis and polos? I can't.
I already have to do that when I'm going to the Tapas bar, Rico. When I'm home, I'm wearing the damn sweatshirt.
Listen, you're never too old for video games, and that's for sure. I'm never going to stop it. Even wifey plays. She plays PlayStation sometimes. I'm actually about to set up the PS4 for her upstairs so we can play online. As I'm on my PS5, she's on the PS4, and we can bang it out sometimes.
So let me put you on, because I'm glad you brought this up, because I'm not a huge video game guy. In high school, we played our fair share of COD. It was a blast when everybody could hop on with the mic, and I mean, it was a ball, but I don't do that anymore. I play my Madden. I'll play a little bit of MLB The Show, some NHL. I only play sports games for the most part. There is a game coming out in 2 months that I have been waiting for since I was probably 16 years old. It's coming back, and when that comes out, I will be bunkered down high school kid style video game playing, and that is at college football 25. When that game drops, I will be playing that game until my eyes just seal over on themselves.
Listen,
I cannot wait, Rico. I cannot tell you the anticipation I have for that game is almost to the extent of the anticipation I have when the Bill season is right around the corner. That's how excited I am for this game.
I'm gonna be real with you. You just said something to me where you're like, I'm gonna be glued to that table. I'm gonna be playing my video. The other day I was playing and I was like, yo, what's going on? And I'm like, I call one of my daughters up. I'm like, hey. She's like, yeah, Dad. I was like, go get Dad's glasses. That's when I knew. I was like, yo, brother, get old. I need my glasses because everything's a little blurry. Let me let Daddy put glasses on. And now I'm like, all right, let's game. Let's ready to go. Let me get my kill streak up. Golly, I'm asking for glasses already, bro.
You gonna be doing the new GTA when that comes out?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna be doing the GTA when it comes through. Are you kidding me?
That's another one. I can't wait for that.
Just cause that's like that. Oh, somebody's got a Dreamcast. Yo, respect to you, so brother. Respect that you have a Dreamcast, bro. I go way back with that stuff. But anyway, I had to get that off my chest because we getting old, and Z-Ball, you're gonna get there, man. You're gonna start getting the whites in the beard, a little bit of whites, and you're like, what is that? What is that? I just had to take one the other day out. I'm out. I ain't doing that. We getting old, brother. We getting old. But hoodies, I can't get rid of the hoodies. Can't do it. Can't do it. Won't do it.
My dad's gonna be 60. He still rocks the hoodie. I mean, he's a lacrosse coach, so you can just pretty much rock with that. That's standard issue.
No doubt.
I'm never giving up the hoodies, bro. You're gonna have to pry those from my cold dead hands.
Well, I'm just not gonna do. I'm not jersey guy. Jersey wearing, just regular wearing jersey guy in the grocery store.
You know, oh my god,
absolutely not.
I think of you.
I'm gonna wear my Josh Allen jersey just to go to the grocery store. I'm gonna wear it just to change the tires in my fucking driveway. Stop it.
Now that's insane to me.
Go sit on a cactus. If you ever do that? We know you're a sports fan. We got it.
I think of you every time I see grown man jersey guy out. But I also thought of you the other day because I made my first jersey purchase in a very long time. And I'm not going to lie, I thought of you when I bought it. And I'll probably think of you the second I put it on, too.
Listen, wear jersey guy out guy. Stop. Wear jersey to the game. Cool. Wear jersey to the sports game. I mean, in your buddy's basement. Cool. Wear jersey to the picnic. Wear jersey to your kid's soccer game. We get it. You're a Jags fan. Cool.
You can't be grown man public jersey guy.
I can't do it.
I totally agree. Now, I think you and I reach a threshold that differentiates because I do think that there's a time and place. But you do think there's a time and place for it.
There's a time and place. Like I said, you're going to any sport event. I'm with you. Non-sport event that has nothing to do with the actual sport. Not doing it.
Agreed.
Now, football jersey I find different. A basketball jersey / tank top, I feel like you could wear that anytime.
Now
maybe I'm a hypocrite by saying that.
That's what I just ordered, Rico. It was my first basketball jersey that I've ordered probably since I got. This is how long it's been. My last basketball jersey was probably a Kevin Garnett Timberwolves jersey when I was 10 years old.
Nasty.
You're not even going to ask me who I got.
I'm. What team? Would you say the team was?
The Indiana Fever.
Oh, you didn't get a Caitlin jersey. You did not. You got a Caitlin Clark jersey.
You know I ordered that, John, the second it dropped, Rico. They sold out in like 30 seconds. Highest selling, fastest selling jersey, I think, for any sport in the history of the Fanatics website. Not to mention WNBA, female sports. I had to get in on that wave. Huge Caitlin Clark girl. I'm going to be rocking the Fever jersey all summer.
Hold on. Timeout. Hold on. I don't know how this works per se. How is the stitching different? Are you going to wear it or are you going to frame it? What's your thing?
I'm going to wear it.
Hold on.
During the summer.
Back it up.
Yes.
It's stitched differently. It's going to fit different. Is there a men's version of the Caitlin Clark jersey? Because if there isn't,
I'm glad you're bringing this up because I'm very nervous and I won't know until.
Bro, so you're gonna be like Michael Scott that went to the bargain bin and found himself a power suit and he's wearing a woman's power suit with no pockets. That's gonna be you. You thought you wore a men's jersey, but you're gonna be walking a women's jersey.
This is what I'm nervous about because they're calling it unisex.
It on you, boy.
So these are back ordered until November, right? Now, here's what I'm nervous about because I've seen a few people that actually have them in person already, and they look like they're going to be fine. But, Rico, it says unisex. This ain't looking a whole lot of unisex to me. This is looking a whole lot of female.
Absolutely looking a lot of female. And there's nothing wrong with it. If you want it to fit nice and snug, then so be it. That's why very tricky. So you better look into see if you can kind of see a men's version of it. That's the tricky part, man.
This is the problem. They don't have that. They only have the so if it's coming out and the only thing that's accentuated is my fat juicy ass, I'm gonna have to return it because this is a little too slender looking for me. And as you can you tell? Do you notice the emphasis on the rear end area here?
I see it.
I don't know why that is the way it is.
Good eye.
But are you seeing that? Like, why is that?
They've given enough for top side and scoop. If you want to have a scoop, I don't know about Ziba, but Caitlin's gonna. You listen. Your girl's gonna. Caroline's gonna be like, "Whoa, boo, can you put your jersey on back on for me, please?"
Yeah, she's gonna be like, "Damn,
babe,
why don't you wear that Caitlin Clark jersey around the house?"
I wanted to wear my hoodie and my bent brim hat. No, babe, put that Caitlin Clark jersey. That's the one I like.
You'll put the Fever jersey on. You'll like. So we'll see, Rico. If it comes in and it's down to my knees and it's like that low cut like that, I gotta return it. I hope
we're gonna call you Booty Bot.
Bet Brent Booty Bot with the C square jersey on all summer long.
Booty Bot with the C Clark jersey is gonna be fire, bro. That's gonna be fire.
I'll let the people know when it comes in what the fit's like, because I'm glad you brought that up. I'm awfully nervous about that, because from the looks of it, because as you can see here, like the youth version of it. This is the youth version. Now, this looks like every other basketball jersey I've seen. And if you notice, you don't see the big plump ass here on this one. And this one looks like
that's the kids one?
This is the kids one. Now, unfortunately, I outgrew the kids jerseys that are out 7 years old. So I can't rock that. But
yeah, Carolina's gonna have to get them ones out, baby. Hey,
tell you what.
Big Booty Bot.
Tell you what.
Yo, bent brim bot just changed to Big Booty Bot. Just coming.
Big Booty Bot with the bent brim all summer long.
Yo, wow.
We do it different out here. We do it different. Yeah.
We do it different. Folks, we are the bottom of the first hour. We just hanging out and we just talking food. So far, we've talked food. We haven't talked the liquor bills, which I love. Because sometimes you gotta my man said bomba clot. Y'all are talking some mess right now. But we haven't even talked the liquor bills football. So if you guys are ready to talk some football, we are ready to talk some football. But talk about some of the bets that are going to be made this offseason. I don't know if you jump into that at all.
You're reading my mind, man. I was literally pulling this up because what I wanted to look at, we were looking at the schedule just a minute ago, and you would say you had said, as the age-old predictions always go at this time of year, especially when that schedule will drop in a couple of weeks here, 3 weeks or so. You had said, what's the Bills' record going to be, right? What's the Bills' record going to be? So let's go over to BetUS and take a look real quick at what the Bills over-under win total is projected to be, because
they already have that.
They should. Let me go let's take a look here. We'll pull it up here.
While you're taking a look at that, I'm gonna go through some of the comments.
Let's hear it.
So right now, my man Pierre says, "Haha, Rico said nice and snug." Yo, that jersey gonna be nice and snug on my man Bot, man. He's gonna be slanging that thing all over the place. Big Booty Bot up in the building. We got the AT&T logo, makes it look like a caddy uniform. It's gonna be interesting, man. Caitlin Clark is a beast, though. That girl can ball. She's a baller, like straight up. So good on her. We're gonna see how this
here we go, Rico,
goes to the next level, man.
So right now,
what do we got
on BetUS? And it's very even on these odds, Rico. Your Buffalo Bills 2024-2025 win total over under is 10.5. Initial thoughts.
Ooh, that is kind of what they kind of had us last year. I think it was like 11 games.
Yes, I think it was exactly
11, maybe 11.5. So like we're actually worse. Our odds to win our division. Excuse me, was that just to win our division or just the record?
This is the record right here, over 10.5. The division, as it stands right now, the Bills are still a slight favorite over the Dolphins at around plus 150-ish or so.
Golly.
But just to give you
here we go again. Pierre says we're going 17-0.
We have, folks, 17-0. One of these days it's going to stick, and he's going to be the most insufferable person on Twitter.
Absolutely.
These days.
He's going to be horrible to be around. But
here's how it compares, right, Rico? How about the Bills have the same over-under total as the Atlanta Falcons with your boy Kirk Cousins?
Oh, man. Listen, it's tough. Give me the Houston Texans.
I will.
What they have for the Houston Texans, because this
Ravens,
is I'm assuming.
Ravens, interesting, by the way. Ravens are at 11.5. The Bengals are the same as the Bills at 10.5. Browns, bit low here at 8.5, which is interesting to me.
I run with that. 8.5, respect it.
5.5 for the Broncos. Man, do you think they're going to be that bad again?
I want the Broncos to be horrible, and not because the team and the players on it. It's the head coach. I am not a fan of Sean Payton. Not a fan.
He's made it very tough to be a fan lately.
Big time.
Here are your Houston Texans, Rico. Minus 145. They're a game less than the Bills at 9.5.
Oh, so I guess 10.5 is considered, like, I guess, pretty damn good, I suppose.
From what I'm seeing here, 11.5 is about as good as it gets. That's what the Baltimore Ravens have. That is what the Niners have. And I haven't seen my good friends over in the Kansas City area yet. Let's go take a look at what they have.
They're probably like 11.5, I would assume. Maybe 12. Actually, no, I would say 11.5.
They are 11.5 as well. So the highest it goes is 11.5. So essentially, Rico, the betting market, as we know, they have continuously been faithful towards the Bills despite the offseason changes. They have them right towards the top of the league, one game shy of the highest over-under win total on here.
So 10.5 is respectful. That's respect. To win 10 games, especially in this league, that tells, first of all, the way everything has gone out is parity. The league wins when there's parity. Yep. Like when the Atlanta Falcons are favored to win, that's good for football. When the Bills are still in the mix to win, that's good for football. Even with the Jets, both New York teams. Actually, what are the Giants? Probably like 6.5, I would assume.
Oh my God, I bet you they're even lower. Let's go see.
I'll say 6.5. They got to give some Brian Dable some respect.
I'm gonna say 4, and I'm gonna say 5.5. Oh, you're right, Rico. Ding, ding, ding. You're spot on. But
listen, where's my wallet at? I need to start betting right now.
It's the underdog, though, Rico. The under favorite at minus 145.
The under is.
How about the New York Jets right below, Rico?
The New York Jets.
9.5.
Oh, they're 9.5. Listen, that's not bad. The Jets are going to be improved. They're getting a whole new quarterback. And that defense was absolutely nasty, and they're building on that defense. They're going to be improved. The only thing is Aaron Rodgers going to be the same after that Achilles? His mind is going to be sharp, but physically, will he be able to do the things that he did 2 years ago?
Right.
I mean, that's big, man.
It's huge. And not enough people are talking about it. They're just penciling them in already. The Bears is kind of high.
Before you tell me, I'd say 8.5, 7.5, 8.5.
8.5.
8.5.
So let's just focus in on the Bills here real quick, Rico. We got 9.5. If you had, and by the way, I'm giving away the free play. You got to come take advantage of this. I'm giving away $125 in free play. First 5 people to DM me their account on Twitter, you get a free $25 to play. So let's put Rico in that situation. He's got a free bet here on the Bills over under 10.5. Where are you going on it and why?
Ooh. Listen, I'll try to take my bias out of it because I'm a Bills fan. I just look at it as a football fan.
Yeah.
And the last time I checked, we still have 17. And 17 is good for 8 wins, 9 wins easy. Right? You know, let me back it up. He's good for 7 wins, 8 wins. So the rest of this defense is gonna have to step up and do what they need to do. So I'm with it. Give me the Bills over 10.5. Give me that.
I'm all in on that. Let's take back a step further. They've won 11 games in 4 consecutive years. And last year they had to essentially win out to get to that total. And they did. And it was basically all against playoff teams as well. They had to do it against the Dolphins, the Cowboys, the Chiefs. So I just, for those reasons alone, Rico, I don't have a problem with sitting here saying that I like this over 10.5. I like where the Bills currently.
Are you about to make a wager right now?
I'm going to make a wager right now. I'm going to put a $55 to win 50 on it over 10.5. And you can do that too, by the way. Link in the description below. 125% deposit match up to $2,500 on your first 3 deposits. I have no trepidations, Rico, in saying that this Bills team is a double-digit win team until I don't see them do it. Last year, there's so many things last year that happened that were going to prove all the haters wrong, and they all did not happen. The Bills were back into the smallest corner that they've been under Josh Allen, and they got out.
They did.
Who's this about right here?
Was that, sorry?
What's this one about from Sarah here?
I said that. A great job, by the way. That's actually pretty funny, Sarah, because I said his mind is sharp, meaning Aaron Rodgers.
Oh,
he's like, his mind is sharp. Boy, he's one conspiracy away from going full foil, tinfoil hat. Listen, man. I still mess with my man Aaron Rodgers, although he has his. I like how bold and brash he is with what he says because he doesn't give a damn. And sometimes we respect those that just don't care about what others people have to say about them. They just live. I mean, they accept their truths. I hate that thing, but they have their truths, and he says what he says, and he stands on his own business. I mean, sometimes it's a little quirky. Is his head all there? Who knows? But his football mind will be ready to go. Shout out to Sarah Christine. So talking about Bills and talking about, you asked me, you know what I'm saying, do I see us getting that 11 wins? And I said Josh Allen is the reason I feel that we are going to be where we're at. What did you take away, speaking of Josh Allen, on Josh Allen's press conference?
I'm glad you bring that up. We're going to play a quick word from BetUS. And we're going to pull up this video, and we're going to dive into it. We're going to take out the little intricates that Allen gave us, because this is the first time we've heard him talk about the Diggs situation since it ended. So we'll pull that up in just a second.
BetUS, America's favorite sportsbook and casino. Live betting and racebook. We're celebrating 30 years with a historic offer. A 125% sign-up bonus on your first 3 deposits. Plus 10% gambler's insurance. Get started today. BetUS, where the game begins.
So, Rico, this is the first time that we've seen Josh Allen in a presser-type situation since the Stephon Diggs situation, and really the first time this offseason. And for starters, I don't know how you and I are pretty aligned on this. We like the visual elements, the body language, the feel, the look. Tell you what, Josh Allen was looking good sitting up there yesterday. He looked like he said he was healthy, said his shoulder was feeling good. He looked healthy too. That's the first thing I noticed when I was watching him.
Did you?
I did. I really did.
Interesting. Okay. I bring that up because I'm going to bring something else up, but go on.
Well, I was just going to say, you want to know what I think might have helped? I loved the hat he was wearing. Did you see the hat he was wearing?
The hat was crisp. Listen, when you get that hat, please do not touch it. It's got the natural curve. It's already got the natural curve. You don't got to eat. You don't have to Jim Duggan that thing. You don't. You just got to just leave it the way it is, man.
Look at that. That is clean, bro. I don't even know if they sell that.
Well, we're going to have to find a way to get it, because that is clean. I'll rock that. And it's got a bit of a bend to it. I'll rock that. That's nice.
According to somebody on Twitter yesterday that I tweeted out the hat, they said that it's not for sale, which even makes me want it even more.
Right? I thought it was the draft hat. That's what that's going to be given out.
No, that's not the draft hat. The draft hat has that big New York State logo on the side of it.
Listen, there's somebody in this chat that knows somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody. Find out how we get these caps. Let us know. We need to get a couple at least. Yeah. And then you know what? And then we might give one away. Give us an opportunity to find out where we can get it. And then I know I'm rock one. I know Z-Bot's going to rock one. You guys let me know, and we'll go give one away.
That is genius.
Find the connect. Find the connect. Give me the connect. Give me the plug, man. Let's go.
Go find the plug, and we will give one of those away after I get mine in hand and bend the living shit out of it and piss Rico off and wear it on here. All right, so here's
folded, put under the couch.
Yeah, I put it over my knee, just like literally bending an iron pipe that you work on a car. Okay, so here's J.A., and let's play a little bit of the beginning here, because he does, of course, get asked about the Stephon Diggs situation. He also talks about the draft situation as well, which I thought was very relatable. And here's Josh Allen yesterday at the podium.
We've made a lot of changes this offseason, lost a lot of veteran leadership, Steph being one of them. I guess that's the nature of the business, and going into year 7 now, it's just kind of is what it is. You know, I don't get paid to make changes on the team. I get paid to be the best quarterback that I can be and try to lead the guys on this team.
Let's pause right there, Rico. You remember when we talked to Dion about him becoming a veteran? He was like taken back by it, and as we're like, man, you've been on the team this long, and he's like, yeah, no, that's true. Yeah, I get the talcum powder out, just throwing the ball in it. Yeah.
Bringing in a brand new bag. You just like, my bad. I had to put that up there.
Swinging it around the house, getting it all ready. But you remember when we talked to him about that, and we were both like at the same time, both he and us were like, man, like you are veteran status now.
Yes. Yes.
What just hit you about Josh Allen saying, well, we're heading into year 7? What does that feel like to you hearing that?
You know what? Immediately what I thought of, the two things I thought of, but the first thing that came to my mind when he said that was, I was like, holy shit, like this is like he's in that veteran, he's a veteran, right? That's the first thing that came to me. And the next one was shit or get off the pot. Win once. We need it. Like you're in year 7 now. You're not on I'm not saying he's on the back end, because it's not even close to being on the back end, but like you've acknowledged. The minute a player acknowledges, holy shit, I'm in year 7. You don't do that at year 4. Year 4, you're like, yo, I've been doing this 4 years.
Yeah, it doesn't sound.
I've been doing this 6 years.
Yeah.
7 hits different. It's no different when someone's like, yo, when you get married and you're in year 7 of the marriage, I think they call it the 7-year itch. I never experienced that with the wifey. We We have a good relationship. Knock on wood, and it continues. But a 7-year itch, that's when they say, oh, things start to go. So shit or get off the pot is the way I look at it. You in your year 7, and when Dion said it, he's like, he had to reflect on it. 7 years, bro, and he just got an extension, so he's gonna be here for another 2-3. So that gets into a decade in the game, bro. So it's lovely to see Josh get to where he's at. The next level I'm looking for, and Lord knows I've been telling you guys this for at least 2 years now. And don't call me a liar because I've been saying it, and I've been a little louder this offseason. This is where he needs to mature. I've been telling y'all this is the leap he needs to take. Now that he's the sole alpha on that offense, because he was sharing that alpha role with another alpha dog. So now he's the only alpha dog right now. So now you ain't got no one to say you kind of, I don't want to say kind of submit to, but it does. Would you say, would that be the right word to use, submit? Did he submit some of his alpha role to Stephon Diggs? And now that Stephon Diggs is no longer there, he's got to take that role and amplify it even more. What are your thoughts on that in that regard?
It's never felt more like Josh Allen's team. Not that it wasn't before.
Yes.
It certainly feels like it is almost doubled. His sharehold, if he was already the CEO, Diggs might have been the CFO, and it might have been an 85-15 split. I mean, Allen's 98% shareholder now, 2% delegated amongst the rest. That's what it's at, and it feels like that now.
Mm-hmm.
You said a couple of things that were really interesting to me because it's based on what I thought of when I heard year 7, and I had also tuned in to PFT Live with Florio and Sims.
I like those two.
Love them. And by the way, that's a polarizing thing to say. I fight with my buddies all the time. They don't like Florio because he's one of the last bastions of American journalism. Damn it. I don't want to hear it. Everybody hates it because the guy's always got an axe to grind. Well, somebody has to have an axe to grind.
You're damn right. You're damn right.
But you want to know what they were talking about, and it hit me like a ton of bricks. Do you know what happened for a very, very top of his game player in year 7, coming off of a divisional loss where his team thought they were going to be real good for the foreseeable future until they weren't? Andrew Luck retired in year 7. And I know that's not going to happen. No. But when you think about how insane that was and how insane it still is, it's crazy Josh Allen's even at that year now where it still feels super young. Because the reason Andrew Luck was so polarizing is because, one, it was in the middle of his career and he was as good as anybody in the league. But 7 years, you are that vet status, but it's still prime. It's still young. Yep. The reason I bring the Luck thing up is just because it was so shocking to watch Luck do that. But when you reflect on it, he had still played long enough in the league where he had realized this is taking too much of a toll on my body and I'm out. Allen's at the point now, year 7, where it just feels like we have just started the Allen experience. We're closer to a decade into it than we are to, it's starting. So that's the really eye-popping, eye-boggling thing. I mean, back to what we were talking about earlier. As long as I have been doing YouTube here with you and the Fanatics boys, is as long as Allen has been the quarterback of this team. That doesn't even feel right to say. It's wild. And I think Rico, as he's approaching his most senior year, his most tenured position with this organization, his most seasoned, version of himself.
Yeah.
It's when it's going to be needed the most. It's when it's going to be needed the most.
So then what do you think about Walter's comment here? So Walter says, why does he need to mature though? Where has maturity and leadership come in question regarding the team's play? I feel like it's a nice footnote, but has little to do with why we haven't won. And maybe I'm not explaining myself. I mean, no, I'm not going to take back what I said. I feel that it's not a sense of he's immature. I think maturity, by maturity, I mean time to take over. But he has taken over. No. There's a difference in taking over. And he even admitted it, that there's a sense of leadership. Like sometimes I think I'm like one of the guys. No, bitch, you're not one of the guys. You're a different guy. You need to be the guy. And I think he was too much amongst the guys. Tom Brady always, I mean, I don't know when Tom Brady became that guy. I mean, he probably was that guy from the start, but there's the guys and then there's Tom Brady. Can Tom Brady be some of the guys? Maybe. But you always knew that Tom Brady was like here, and y'all need to buck up. And I think that's what I mean by mature. He's got to mature. He's not immature and not in any way. He comes with it, but there's a new sense of maturity that's going to come his way where you're the guy, you're the elder statesman on that team. 7 years in, I mean, look at your receiver crew. Your receiver crew is all young bucks. Your old line. Only you and Deion Dawkins have been together since actually Deion got there before you, did not, or they got here at the same time. No, before you. So there comes a point where, like, fam, this is where it is. Like, when I say shit or get off the pot, that means get the shit done. We got to get it done. It just has to happen. And maybe it's a different way you lead. And that's been my gripe. His sense of leadership was just to take a seat back and kind of let my play do it. It's not just that. There's great leaders, and great leaders, they pull shit out of others. And you're going to have to pull shit out of everybody on that squad to elevate their game. Not that they haven't, but this is a new level, and you're going to have to reach new heights, especially without Stephon Diggs, right? And he even said it. I think one of the questions in that presser was, what did you learn or what could you take away from Stephon Diggs now that he's gone? What did you take away from it? And the one thing that stood out to me was like what he brings to practice, that mentality, that dog mentality, right? So like you don't have that anymore. So who's going to be that guy? It's got to be you. It's got to be you, because these other guys are too young buck to do it. You're year 7. This is where you need to step up. And if I'm wrong, y'all let me know. Or if you disagree, I can't say if I'm wrong because that's my opinion. But like that's where we're going to need that next level of franchise play or franchise leadership from Josh to step up. There's no more, I'm going to defer to Diggs or submit to Diggs. There's no one to submit to anymore. You're the guy. You're the guy. You're not just a guy. You're the guy. You are him. So this is what I meant. I mean, I went into a whole long soliloquy here, but this is what I meant by he's got to mature. He's got to lead up. And he even admitted himself. So it's not like I'm talking shit, but I've been saying this, that he needs to do that. So now that he's finally said it, I hope y'all start realizing Rico wasn't hating. He was just trying to get the best out of Josh Allen for crying out loud. We'll see. But your thoughts?
I mean, to put it into perspective, if the Bills take one of these wide receivers in round 1, that wide receiver would have been a freshman in high school when Allen was taking over the Buffalo Bills.
Boom.
I mean, that is a very odd way to look at it. They don't seem like they're that far off, but when you think about it from that gap, it's pretty wild to think about. Now, I think people misunderstand what you say about Allen and the leadership role often.
Yeah. I think they do.
I know exactly what you're saying. Because let's go back to what Walter said when he says, where was it? When Walter said here, I don't think it has little to do with why we haven't won. I couldn't agree more. I don't think it's had anything to do with why we haven't won. Why we haven't won is because of one or two plays with the Kansas City Chiefs and a dog shit outing collectively amongst the entire team against the Cincinnati Bengals. It's got nothing to do with that aspect of Josh Allen. But I think maybe the Diggs situation might have had a little bit of something to do with that. I think maybe the overall aura might have a little bit of something to do with that. And I think what you're getting at is what is essentially the holy grail of quarterbacks. And it's something that Tom Brady, the needle he threaded was better than anybody, where he could go out and pound beers with the offensive lineman and he could be in your face, letting you know, this ain't a game. This is life or death. I mean, this is what you need to do, and you better freaking do it, or your ass is grass type mentality. The quarterback has to be able to be your best friend and your dad, essentially, all in one. And it's a really tough thing to thread because you get a little too comfortable on the best friend side, you get walked on. You get a little too much. You get a little too power hungry on the dad side. Well, then you're the dad that nobody wants to be around. You're the dad that, I don't trust this guy. I don't want to make a mistake in front of this guy. I'm afraid of this guy. It's a very tough line to toe. But if you're able to do that, which the greats have, Peyton Manning was really good at this. Tom Brady, of course, was really good at this. Then that's what makes you one of the greats, separates you. It's not just your play on the field, right? Now, with Josh Allen in the position that he's in, I think Diggs made that difficult to achieve because Diggs was brought in via a trade to enhance this offense to the next level, and that's exactly what happened. And I think Josh Allen knew that he was going to be relying on Stephon Diggs to some degree for this to be accomplished.
Yes.
And I don't think that mentality was shared with Stephon Diggs. I think that he probably feels that he's going to be balling out anywhere. Now, of course, he knew it was going to be better with Josh Allen than it was going to be with Kirk Cousins. He's not an idiot. He knows the better the quarterback is, the better I'm going to play. I think that the circumstances surrounding the addition of Stephon Diggs, at the time in which Josh Allen was in the stages of his career with Buffalo, it might not have been cut out for Allen to be able to feel that way wholeheartedly, because one, Diggs was a more seasoned vet in this league. He was older than Josh Allen, right? And he was the guy brought in to be the enhancer to Josh Allen. So is Josh Allen going to want to overstep his boundaries with that guy? We're facing a whole different circumstance here where, like I had just mentioned, the wide receiver the Bills draft here will have been, without a license essentially when Josh Allen took over this team. This is his team now. Not that it wasn't before. Once again, I emphasize, but it's never been more his team now than ever, simply based on the lack of veteran leadership going into this year, based on who was lost. I think the Bills lost 4 or 5 captains this offseason alone, and based on the fact that he's going to be faced with one of his most challenging tasks today, and that's keeping this team in the window in which they're in without the talent that has gotten them within this window that they've been in for the last handful of years. So with this new responsibility, with this new challenge being faced for Josh Allen, this is inevitably where that next step in leadership has to happen. And I think that's what you're getting at. It's not a matter of him not getting it done on the field, not a matter of him not being a good teammate. It's a matter of him taking this team over in a way that isn't just him leaping over guys and dominating on the field. It's taking over in the sense that these new guys that are coming in, because Rico, this team is going to be revolved around second, third, 4-year guys starting this coming year. The tone is going to be set by Josh Allen exclusively. And I think when Diggs was brought in, Allen was still in his 3rd year? It's a big difference between where they are now and where they were when that all happened. And I think it's a perfect opportunity for Allen not only to take that next step in his career, but to take that next step in the leadership role. And I think we're going to have to see it in order for this team to continue to have the camaraderie and the culture that they've built all the way up until now.
You nailed it. You nailed it 100%. And I'm going to add to that because you just reminded me of him having to take that leadership step. He was also referring to Mitch Morse, and he had nothing but great things to say about Mitch Morse and how great of a human Mitch Morse was, in addition to how great of a leader he was. So you lost Mitch Morse, your center, your guy on the offense that you can kind of rely on to calm things down and be the calm in the storm or whatnot. And then you were talking about how great Micah Hyde was, and you lost Micah Hyde, right? So that's 2 big leadership pieces you lost that kind of kept that locker room together offensively and defensively. So they're going to have some new guys emerge, and they're going to mimic what they see from their quarterback, right? And hopefully he presents something that we're like, okay, Josh is different this year. I saw something in it kind of made me cringe a little bit. Somebody was like, there's something different about Josh in his press conference. Shut up. He's the same cat. He just realizes that I don't got my guy no more. Nothing's changed. He's the same dude. He's worked out the same. You know what I'm saying? But you don't got Diggs no more. Now, the one thing I do wonder, and as they were talking about Diggs, he didn't really share too much about his I guess like when he talked about Diggs, it was like blah, 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 done. Mitch Morse at length.
I noticed that.
Hyde at length. He would talk about Diggs, but and nothing negative to say, great things, but it would be right to the point. And hey, did you guys send any texts to each other? Yeah, we shared a text, and I let him know that how much it meant to me. And
he said he was hanging out with Morse as recently as the last couple of weeks.
So, and then with Diggs, it was just a text. He's always giving me my brother, which is cool, and it was just a shared text. So a shared text, bro, it's a phone call for me. Oh man, you were great for me. And now he may downplay it, but if he's keeping it real, text is a text, and that there's no love lost with them. They're cool with each other, and I'll be interested to see when they play each other wherever. I think we're home. Are we home against the?
No, it's in Houston.
It's in Houston. Okay, so when we play against the Houston Texans, I'll be very interested to see how that dynamic. Are they going to all that shit, or is it going to be hearty handshake? It's going to be the Obama handshake, and that's it. I'll be curious to see how that all plays out. But listen, man, new era, new life in Buffalo, and it's gonna be life without Diggs. How is that going to be something? And if the social media team is legit, and I question the social media team, the Bills social media team. They do some weird stuff. It doesn't resonate for me. I don't know if it resonates with you, but their stuff pre-game, after game, it's weird. But I would have that "you sure" just tucked in somewhere. You know what I'm saying? And when it's time to pull that "you sure" out, yo, you better pull that thing out and let him know, because Josh is going to be focused and ready to go. But that social media team better have that thing tucked right in. If not, then we'll handle that part. But man, oh man, I can't wait for that matchup to happen and see how that dynamic between the two of them, is it really truly done, or we'll see how that plays out.
Yeah, I do wish they were a bit more lighthearted and more like willing to poke people in the chops like other social media accounts do. I love that.
Yes, Pierre.
Yeah.
You got a text back. It was pretty much a one and done. Hey man, I really appreciate what you've done for me. And then it was probably reciprocated and like, yo, man, listen, good luck with everything, man. I love you. You know, I'm always going to love you. Man, good luck this season. The good luck this season, that tells you like, yo, we ain't bros no more. We just better than acquaintances. But I'm always going to have love for you. You know what I mean? Everybody's had a girlfriend before where they're always going to have love for that girl. I mean, we're cool. I mean, we ain't like that no more, but I'm always going to have love for you. And I think that's what it's going to be like between Josh and and Diggs.
Let's go back to Allen and see what else he had to say in this presser. And this is right here, going right into the Stephon Diggs as we're talking about it.
Lost a lot of veteran leadership. Steph, we've made a lot of changes. We've made a lot of changes this offseason. Lost a lot of veteran leadership. Steph being one of them. I guess that's the nature of the business. And going into year 7 now, it's just kind of is what it is. You know, I don't get paid to make changes on the team. I get paid to be the best quarterback that I can be and try to lead the guys on this team.
Have you spoke with Steph since the move was made?
Yeah, I shared a text with him and got one back and just thanking him for everything that he did for me, and always have a spot in my heart for him, and I always love that guy like a brother, and wish him nothing but the best.
There it is.
Really,
I don't know if that resonated with me as much as it is now. No, that ain't great. That ain't great.
You don't think so? What do you? How did it didn't resonate? Didn't touch a nerve or nothing? Or
no, I mean, I'm saying it is now. Like,
okay, gotcha.
I don't think it really sunk in. Like when he says, I shared a text with him and he sent one back. I mean, that's nothing. That's nothing.
Facts. Because it could have been easily, yeah, man. We shared a conversation. Like, we had a long conversation. I was on the phone with him for like an hour. Yo, that tells you like, yo, we good. But he shared a text. I got one back. It was probably like, yo, deuces. You know what I mean? I love you, man. Heart. I don't know, handshake, whatever the case is. 2 fist bumps hitting each other. Who knows? But neither here nor there. I mean, at the end of the day, it is what it is. And the fact that this is the first time him answering to those questions. He seems pretty straight faced. I think he's looks honest. I mean, I'm not a body reader. I don't beat the rod.
He says he'll always be a brother to me. He'll always be like a brother to me. What do you think about that?
I mean, shoot. He came in like Josh was, like you said, Josh was going into his 3rd year. I mean, Diggs, what is Diggs? Diggs in year 9 now? I can't recall. Or he's going into year 10 or year 9. I'm not certain.
I think 10.
Yeah, year 10, because I think he was 3 years league. He was already 3 years into the league. Anyway,
yes.
So Josh pretty much looked up to him like a big bro. Like, yo, you've been in this game. You already know it. 3 years in. So they spent 4 years together. So he's seen what kind of personality Diggs is. So yeah, he's always gonna be a bro to him. But yo, listen, I hate to, and he even said, I hate to see guys go.
Yeah,
that's the nature of the business, man. Now, Diggs could have still been there if they really wanted to work this thing out, but it is what it is, man. Like my man Pierre said, man. What's the line that coaches use when they share the handshake in the middle of the field? I think Pierre said it was a classic line that they always say, oh yeah, wish you the best. Have a great season. It's gonna be one of those, man.
Yeah, it's like corporate speak for saying go to hell.
Right.
You know.
Consistent throughout in being having a lot of praise for Stephon and what he has meant to you and to the team. That being said, there was a sense that of maybe just outside speculation. Is he happy? Is he unhappy? Why do you think that seemed to linger over the team for as long as it did?
I mean, to be honest, I couldn't answer that question. It's it's something you may have to ask him at some point. But again, I think with this, there is a lot of opportunity for our guys that are in that room right now, and as an offense and really as a team to evolve and grow and become a new version of the Buffalo Bills and to come together as a team over the course of OTAs is what we're doing right now. And, got a lot of time before we kick off the first game. So a lot to learn from, even going back and look at some of the concepts that we're doing right now and just cleaning those up. It feels, obviously it's frustrating to look back and see some of the stuff that was on tape, especially for myself, but excited to address those and move forward and get better.
He's so over it. He is.
Oh, yeah, he's over it.
The Diggs shit. He's so
over it. Yeah, he's absolutely over it, as he should be.
Yes,
he should be over it. Like we're done with this mess, man. Like
you know how many times he's had to have been asked that, or had to in his personal life too. You know what I mean? Like he's had to have been talking about this for the last several months.
Yeah, we're done. We're done. I get it. You guys want to know all this information about, and I mean, what's popped off with me? There's like all offseason I've been hearing it, and I'm sure of it. A guy like every professional athlete, they must have a burner, right? He even said something like, hey, listen, I watch the highlights on YouTube like you do, you guys too. Like I do all that. You know what I'm saying? So I know there's a burner somewhere. So he's watching and seeing and reading everything and hearing what everybody's talking about. So he's heard it enough. And not only that, he's getting it probably from his mom, his dad, his brother, his best friend, like you name it. It's just what it is, man.
What level of this? Well, what did Josh mean to you over this 4-year switch? And how much more confident are you in your abilities to be able to offset that type of a loss?
Yeah, I mean, I think again, he meant a lot. You look at the statistics, they don't lie. Numbers don't lie. So, but like I said a few minutes ago, it's an opportunity for those guys that we have in our room, bringing in guys like Curtis and Mac, and having Khalil and Dalton.
He doesn't even. It's just a little thing on Diggs right to what we're doing now, like every time, which I love. I mean, because what else can he say? And I think that's genuinely how he feels. I just don't think he gives a shit.
Yeah, I think he's over it. He's ready. He's ready. He's flipped at what they say is he's on to the next chapter.
Yeah,
I'm on to the next chapter. It's done. Like we've talked about this ad nauseum. We're done.
Exactly.
Happy is he
to look back and see some of the.
What do you need to see from other offensive guys to maybe step up from a leadership perspective? So it's not just all on you. When you lose, a lot of other veterans come from Mitch Morris, two guys like that. Like, how do you look at the other?
You want to pause that for me real quick?
Yeah.
A big shout out to this is a small. I'm going to say a small shout out. A small shout out to the Bills media team. We can actually hear the reporter asking a question. I've been beefing the Bills media AV crew for years, where we can never hear the question coming from the reporter and only hear the answer of the player. And now you're trying to make understand, like, okay, maybe he asked this question. They finally have gotten it right, where you can actually hear what the media person is saying. So shout out to them. I just had to put that.
Couldn't agree more. It's the most unbelievable thing ever.
Oh my gosh, it's been too long. Come on, knock it off.
Damn near $1 trillion business. I mean, even the audio on this still doesn't even sound that good. But I totally
exactly. That's why I said small shout out. You're right, man.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, I think it's an opportunity for myself to grow as a leader, and to bring along some of these young guys or new guys that we've brought into our team. And that's an opportunity, frankly, that I'm very excited about. It's something that is going to be very challenging, but I'm very willing to do it. And having, Coach McDermott, having a second year with Joe Brady, being in my 7th season now, being here, it's kind of crazy to think that I'm going into my 7th season. I feel like, I haven't sat too many times up in front of you guys, at the start of OTA. So, but again, it's just another opportunity for me to go out there and be the guy that I'm supposed to be and the guy that I believe I am. And, I'm going to need guys along the way, but I think the most important things that I need from this team is guys to just continue to work hard and buy into what we're doing here and trust the process, as Coach McDermott always preaches. And, us trusting in being in what he's doing and bringing the right guys in and just trying to utilize those guys as best as we can.
That stood out to me for some reason.
So did I. What are you thinking?
When he said, I need from this team.
Uh-huh.
I think I've heard him say that before. I need this from you. Because they were asking him essentially, how is the development going to unfold here so that it's not all on you? And he literally said, I need this from this team. And I feel like it's always, I need to be better. I need to do this. I need to do that. I liked that because he was like, I need this from these guys. For us to succeed, I need the hard work. I need to be bought in. I need the development. And I love that. I don't know why, but when I was watching this yesterday, that kind of stood out a little bit more than maybe others, just because I don't think I've heard him say it before.
See, and what I gathered from that was, AKA, I need y'all to step up.
Yeah.
He didn't say it that way, but that's how I read it. Because I was like, when he said I need, I was like, oh, I need what? What do you need exactly? Tell us what you need. I need guys to work hard and continue to work hard. No, bitch, you didn't want to say that. You want guys to step up. Now that Diggs is gone, everyone raise your level, step up. And he can't say it that way, but sometimes, you know what? You have to say it that way. So they understand that, yo, we did lose a big step, a big piece on this team. We lost a big piece, and there's no denying it. So guess what? I need everybody to step up. Facts. It's okay to say it. I don't think it'd be looked at like, oh, he doesn't trust his guys. But he even talked about that. He needs to put trust in these guys, which I really love that he acknowledged that. But it's okay to say, I need guys to step up. Khalil Shakir, you had a great second year. Your third year is going to be massive. I need you to step up. Kincaid, you know what I'm saying? Dawson Knox, everybody, step your game up because we're about to kill this shit. So I'm looking forward to seeing what these guys do. But this Josh Allen telling us that what he needs, like it. So maybe we see it different. But he's talked a big game before. I need to make sure that I get the ball in the hands of my guys so they can get the yak. I have been working super. I'm gonna. What was it? I've been working super hard this summer. Or I'm super motivated. I'm motivated than ever. Now, I'm not saying that he's not telling the truth of that, because probably he was. But this, I mean, we've heard these type of things before. So the proof is in the pudding. So we that's why I said all eyes are going to be on these Bills on how they perform without a lot of these veteran guys. Forget about just Stephon Diggs being off this team. Gabe Davis off the team, right? Poyer, Hyde, Mitch Morse. I mean, we lost a considerable amount of players on the squad. So everybody's got to step up so we can keep this thing going.
And I don't even think it needs to be said this year, which is the best part about it.
Yes.
I don't think it even needs to be said. It just goes without saying.
Let's go, man. Let's get to work.
I'm sorry. In the history of the league, when a quarterback stays for a while with a team, it almost is like they play with almost a totally second team, and some guys even like a third team. There's not that many guys who've been around as long as you have here. Does it almost feel like going into this year, it's like at that second stage of your career with a bunch of new guys?
I guess you can say that. You know, I've been here with Micah and Poe since I've been here, right? And to lose those guys is going to hurt in terms of the leadership aspect, in terms of familiarity that I have with coming in and being able to talk with them, not just about football, but with about life. So again, finding somebody, isn't easy, but trusting the guys that we have in this room, having a new center, not having Mitch. Gabe was so good for us for the time that he was here and such a presence in our locker room. But again, we still have some guys that have played some really good football over the course of their careers, and having a guy like Von Miller who's been there and done that and been to the pinnacle, been to the top. Bringing in Mike, who's also done the same thing for two of the teams that he's played for, and relying on some of these guys that have seen what it takes and going to be able to utilize their knowledge for this team as well. And I don't think it's a wrong thing or a bad thing to get younger. I think that as a coaching staff, as a leader, to be able to come and kind of mold these guys into the team that you want to be, I think is a very exciting opportunity. And again, it takes two to tango. You need to have the right guys that are willing to come in and work hard and do things the right way, which I can confidently say in this locker room right now, we have those guys.
How are you health-wise?
I think it's more or less it's a lot of the same stuff here, but I think he knows what's ahead here. I mean, he pretty much just admitted it right there. This is not the same team. This is going to be a whole different wave for me. How am I going to ride it?
You know what? It makes, and he's in new territory, because if you think about it, any rookie that comes in, you're a rookie. You come in as a rookie. And you sat a little bit, and then you got to start. I mean, he learned a little bit from Nate Peterman. I know nobody wants to say Nate Peterman, but he learned a little bit from Nate Peterman, sitting behind Nate Peterman, and he learned what not to do. But nonetheless, this is a different year because a lot of he just had to play quarterback, right? I have to just play quarterback and do what I can do at quarterback. I don't have to deal with being a leader of men. My job is here to play quarterback and make plays. Now he's got a dual role. He's got to wear two hats at the same time. Not only be a quarterback, an elite one, I got to be a leader of men. That is tough. This is why guys like Kobe Bryant, guys like Mike Jordan, guys like Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, freaking who else can I say? I mean, any other athlete you're thinking of. It's not just being the ball player that you are. You got to be a leader of men, right? Yeah. So, like for instance, I work in a warehouse, and I'm a supervisor in a warehouse, right? And I deal with a lot of traffic coming inside and out, and I gotta manage that, and I manage a team of forklift drivers and so on and so forth. The amount of entitlement these forklift drivers have and you got to manage these personalities, right? So not only do you have to do your job as a supervisor, but you've got to manage, and you've got to deal with personalities in order to make this function run. Because if you don't, and nobody's listening, and nobody's doing what they're supposed to do, and nobody's understanding where the leadership comes from, bro, your shit's gonna fall apart. So this is where Josh he's gonna have to now manage how to play the quarterback at a high level, but be able to go and pull a guy to the side and be like, yo, man, this is blah, 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 blah. Hey, man, yo, you messed up on that route. I still love you, but I got to curse your ass out. So that's the new Allen we're going to see on how he manages. That's what I've been asking for the last 2 years. We need him to get in someone's face and say, hey, I need you, right? Instead of I'm just go out there and be Josh Allen. Nah, it's more than that now. You're $258 million. Now it comes into play because now you're the franchise guy. The franchise guy's got to learn how to manage his people and manage his teammates. I wouldn't say manage it, but be a leader to these guys and go out there and make plays. And once we start winning and those things come together, boy, these guys are going to be unstoppable. But he's got to now fall into that role. Question is, will he take on that role well? That's what we're about to find out. It'll be interesting. It'll be fun.
Josh Allen's got a big role ahead of him this season. Beane's got a big role ahead of him next week. Rico, Brandon Beane, 40 minutes at the podium yesterday. A lot of GM talk as usual, but the one thing that's being made into the headlines, I'll say, was one specific thing that he referenced, and that was we don't necessarily need a wide receiver one to succeed in this league. That is the big buzz sentence that has made its way out of Brandon Beane's presser yesterday. Your thoughts on that ideology for the Bills in particular?
It's not a bad assessment to make. We don't. And this isn't, and I keep saying this is what I've been saying, but it's on my heart to say it. I've been trying to say this the last 3 years, and I'll say what I've been saying. I think that at the time, he wasn't on the level of Tom Brady. But if you go and use Tom Brady, for example, and I know it's tough to use a guy like Tom Brady because Tom Brady is one of the greatest, if not the greatest quarterback to ever touch the field. But Tom Brady, in 90% of his career, never had like an elite wide receiver. I mean, he had Gronkowski. Don't get me wrong. He had Aaron Hernandez. I mean, listen, I can't scoff at that. But he was always able to do a lot with less. He didn't need all the superstars on the squad. These were guys like Edelman was no slouch, but he wasn't a high praise guy. But under the tutelage and under the leadership of Tom Brady, he made these guys into stars. And I think that Josh Allen is good enough to make the Khalil Shakirs, the Curtis Samuels, and all those guys into stars. Do you need a bona fide X? Not necessarily. You don't. It'd be nice. But with as skillful as Josh is, he'll deliver the football to where he needs. He just needs one guy that is going to be the guy that I can count on you. And that's Dalton Kincaid, because he even asked for that, brother. Hey, no matter what, Dalton Kincaid, or Dalton Kincaid no matter what, whatever you want to put it, right? So that being said, as long as he and Kincaid are on one, the other guys play their role, he will get you the football. He ain't satisfied with going for 150 yards passing. No way. You're going to get yours. Just make sure that you do your job and get open. So do you need a bona fide X receiver? No. Was John Brown an X receiver? Heck no. Was Cole Beasley an X? No. But he got the job done with those boys. So now it's a matter of getting guys on the same page, getting the right pieces on this team, and hopefully Brandon Beane does his job. But that's my opinion on it. When you think about X receiver, does it need one? Do you share the same sentiments that Brandon Beane mentioned of, well, we don't need to get it done with the X? What are your thoughts on that?
I think there's a difference between need and would benefit from. Do you necessarily need it, like you just mentioned with the John Brown, Cole Beasley circumstance? Maybe not. But would you be benefiting your franchise quarterback in the prime of his career to the maximum potential if you did have that guy? Yes, and that's how I look at it. When you're looking at the circumstance the Bills currently face, you can look at it almost as if you're like on a vacation, right? You wouldn't spend the money typically on frivolous shit when you're home doing this and that. You wouldn't say, "Oh, just do it, just buy it," or "Oh, we'll just go out tonight or whatever." But when you're on vacation, you're living a little, you're living a little more lavish, you're a little more lax, you're willing to do more to make sure, back to the experience aspect we were talking about earlier in the show, to make the experience that much better, to make sure you get the most out of your trip. This is the Bills' vacation. The Bills are on vacation from mediocrity, and Josh Allen has been the destination. He has been the reason that this team is on that elongated break from the mediocrity that we faced for so long. So with that, I want to maximize on what I have while I have it, especially while it's at its peak. Mm-hmm. So do you need it in that sense with the phrasing in which it's being spoken? Do we need it? No. But would you significantly benefit from it? Absolutely.
For sure.
I think that if you're going to look back, would you rather have the regret of saying, well, we could have done this, but we didn't because we didn't need it? Or would you rather look back and say, well, maybe we didn't need it, but we did it because of the circumstances at hand and we thought it would be worth it. And we're glad that we did it because we got the most out of our guy while he was the guy. Because if you look at it right now, if you go and get that bona fide wide receiver one in the first round, by the time he's up for a second contract, Allen will be going into his 11th year, which is wild.
It is crazy. It's crazy when you say it that way.
Right. And by that time, Rico, I mean, I'm not a fortune teller, right? I'm not able to read the future, and nor is anybody else. I know what the present is. And the present currently is Josh Allen's a top 3 quarterback in this league. And I want to make damn sure that my present is filled with maximum potential surrounding him.
I'm with you.
That's why I feel like it may not be a need in the sense of the word, but I think it's almost a need based on what you currently have on this team, because you're not going to want to look back and say, we could have gotten the top wide receiver for our franchise over the next X amount of years in one of the more loaded wide receiver drafts in recent memory. But, we didn't need to do it. We played it a bit safe. I think that there's a lot about this team that you could already argue has been played to the safe side under Josh Allen. One in which being the Bills hadn't even drafted an offensive player for Josh Allen to be surrounded with in the first round until last year. Mm-hmm. They've already been playing it a bit safe in regard to their mindset on Josh Allen's peak and how long it's going to last for. I think that as you're entering into that next stage where he currently is at that peak, it's time to really start putting your chips into the table and making sure you maximize on this while you have it, because nobody knows what it's like to not have it more than us. And I think that's why you don't want to live with any regret. I mean, it's almost like another way to put it would almost be like, say you get, I don't know, say you're going to say you turn on the news and there's a breaking news. The world's going to end in 100 days. are you just going to sit around and say, well, I don't need to do all the things that I wanted to do in my life because the world's going to end? Or are you going to say, man, I got 100 days to do the most here. Max on this shit.
Yeah. Okay. I got you.
Because in dog years, Alan, that's kind of how you could probably boil it down to Alan. You got X amount of time left until the world ends, because the Bills' world is going to end when Josh Allen hangs it up.
Oh my God. Listen, man. Life without a quarterback, bro. I'm not sure if I'm going to be ready to get back into that shit.
That's what I'm saying. That is what I'm saying. And so right now, I just feel like it is. I was just had ESPN on in the background last night. You just, half listening. But my man, Stan Verrett, my God, he looks phenomenal. He's been doing SportsCenter since I was in elementary school. He looks the exact same. The guy's been killing it. Him and Neil Everett were always my favorite. Neil retired last year, one of my all-time faves. But Stan was on last night with Linda Cohn. Stan Verrett, yeah.
Got it. Okay.
With Linda Cohn, she went to my alma mater, Oswego, and they were chatting. They were talking about wide receivers because Louis Riddick had come on and said he thinks that that Neighbors is the top wide receiver in this draft. And they were talking, but what they boiled it down to is Stan Verrett says, well, if you're in need of a wide receiver, I can't think of a better year to be needing one in this draft. And that's what it all comes down to. The time in which you've needed it the most, the time in which you can take advantage of it the most and get the most out of it, just so happens to be the year in which it feels like there are the most amount of guys to be able to do that for you. You're going to regret not taking advantage of that if you look back however many years from now and there's just not that guy that was able to elevate Josh Allen further. And the other quick point, Rico, the Chiefs are really the only team recently that has been able to win like that. And there has been a significant element of luck involved, as well as a significant element of unbelievable. I don't even know what the right word is to say. They've won every game in which they probably shouldn't have. You know what I mean? Like, that's so hard to accomplish. It's so hard to do year in and year out, and they've done that. I can't. There's no other team that's doing that towards the top of the league right now, other than the Chiefs, and that can't be the example because I think it's the anomaly, not the standard.
There's so many things. You said some great things. You made some great points. Even Pierre was like, great analogy. He was on with you. At first, he was questioning you, and then you're like, wait a minute, you had me in the first half, but I still got a second half to play, and you got him back in the second half, so he's on board. And there isn't much I can say, because if it's 100 days and I got to maximize what I can do in 100 days, then I'm going all in. But here's the deal. We don't got 100 days. You know what I'm saying? This is we need to make this last for 365 days. So we can have those 100 days to max out. We're going to try to do our best, but there's the other 100 that we got, and then the other 100 that we got. So it's a tricky one, because you may want to go all in. It's like you're going all in, but there's a chance that you lost it all. You went and made the wrong decision, and it sets you back. So this is where you have to be calculated in how you move. And this is where Brandon Beane has to come in. And if I'm going all in, if I'm maximizing, because I have 100 days left and I got to go all in and get it, I better make the right decision. Not everybody makes the right decision in this case. And we're about to find out where we go, which brings me to this position of need. And I'm not transitioning, but it stays in this whole realm of X receiver. Do we need it? Do we not? You got 3 guys that are the top notch. I was just on with my man Carl Jones, and he was giving me his top 10 list, and he had a fantastic list. If you guys haven't watched the show with me and Carl Jones, please go back and watch it. We had a pretty damn good show. We did scenarios where we trade up the first 4 rounds, we trade down, or we stay put. And he gave us also his top 10 receivers. And it goes the 3, and then there's a gap between the 3 and the rest. And I'm looking at some of the comparisons that these guys are making. And some Malik Neighbors is probably one. MJH they love a lot, and even Odonze is part of that. The real question comes down to, if you're going to sell the farm and do it, bro, you better hit. You better swing. If you're going up against Mike Tyson, you swing. You better hit that brother on the chin and make him go down. Because if you miss, it's a problem. So if we're going to swing that hard, we better hit. And this is where we need to figure out if this is going to be the right decision. And I bring this up because needing the X receiver, or are we comfortable enough knowing that we have the X factor in Josh Allen, and that's enough that we need? If you're a random quarterback in the NFC East, if you're Dak, I don't want to say Dak Prescott. If you're give me a quarterback that's like not elite but good.
Kirk Cousins.
Perfect. You're Kirk Cousins. You want to go get a guy like maybe Odonze, right? If you're freaking the Tua Tagovailoa, go and get another guy, right? To elevate Tua, because Tua's not elite. Kirk Cousins is not elite. Josh is. So that's the other angle you have to look at it. Those other quarterbacks, the bottom tier quarterbacks that are in the league, yeah, you got to go up and get those big time dudes to help these guys out. Josh is an X factor. So, but I'm all in with you, man. If you want it, go get it. If that pretty girl that's sitting across the bar or the club or whatever the case is, and you're like, no, I'm all in. I don't care. Yo, get out of the way. That's who I see. I'm going after it.
Right. And this is how it's mocked up right now. You talked about those top three and where they might go. Interesting enough, I mean, bet you asked Rico, they got absolutely everything. It's insane the amount of draft props. They even got that listed up right here so we can get a good read on what that is. Not that I don't think everybody already feels that way, but this just goes to show you how this is lined up and then how tough it would probably be for the Bills to be able to pull this off, because Marvin Harrison Jr. right now is minus 500 to be the first wide receiver off the board. Malik Neighbors, minus 275 to be second off the board. Then Roma Dunze, massive favorite to be the third. So this is the order that the betting market views that these three are going in. But then, Rico, when you dig a little deeper, here's where they see the rest of these guys stacking up afterwards. They got Brian Thomas Jr. being the fourth off the board in the betting market, Adonai Mitchell, and Xavier Worthy. So I guess based on the betting odds here, we can probably, unless Beane, I know I kept saying I feel like the time is now to go and make that move, but there's a couple of things to be considered. One, the odds of one of those three wide receivers just not being all that elite is pretty damn high, if not guaranteed. It's just, there's no way all three of these guys are going to be Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase. It's just, it's a statistical aberration. I don't think it's going to be possible. So you look at these other guys that are going to be more around the Bills' wheelhouse here. Do you view this hierarchy here of BTJ, Adonai Mitchell, and Xavier Worthy? Do you view it as that in that order? Or you see it a different way? And then on top of that, do you, if the fourth wide receiver, whoever that might be, winds up coming off the board, you know, why do you feel that guy should be? And would that be somebody you would want the Bills to move up and get? Not in the top 10, obviously, but late teens, mid teens at the highest.
So I'm glad you asked me that, because there was a oh, perfect. I found it. There was an article by Tyler Dunn that he put out.
Favorite guy.
Oh yeah, our favorite guy. I don't mind Tyler Dunn, but he's probably public enemy number one to a lot of Bills fans, right?
He's the king, man. He's the season saver. I love him.
I tell you. So you were talking about those very guys, right?
Yeah.
And there was an assessment that I guess multiple GMs, or maybe it was Bob McGinn that made it. I think it was Bob McGinn that made this assessment on these guys. And he goes, Adonai Mitchell says he's a little bit of a wild horse. You've got to see if you can harness him in. That was his assessment on him. So I'm going to say all these guys, and if you put them on the Bills, the question is, does Josh have the personality to rein in a personality like my man here, Adonai Mitchell, right? So if there are multiple people saying that he's a wild card, and on top of that, I've seen some press conferences where some of the questions that he's answered were kind of like, I don't know about that guy, right? It makes you kind of say, I'm not too sure. Talented as ever, but there's more to a guy than talent. Then he goes, Xavier Worthy. If Worthy's on the field, you're breaking you gotta find out where he's at, because he's electric, right? He's like Tyreek Hill. So that's what you get out of him. Brian Thomas, most of the guys in the top 10 receiver are high-level competitors. They don't think he is. So he's a tier below, which is perfect ranking that you see all here, right? So I bring this up because this ranking that you see fit here, I think it's right where it needs to be. MJH is number 1, 6'4", 215. The guy's just a G. The baller, right? Neighbors and Donze, you can go up and down. I mean, the comparison I've seen somebody say is Michael Irvin for Rome Odunze. Michael Irvin, playmaker, just all around good guy, and personality test, he passed. That would be a Bills pick. So if you're going all in, that's where you want to go. But this ranking right here is pretty much bang on. I think the one guy that is creeping up on people's lists is Xavier Worthy.
Yes.
I've seen that a lot, and I'm starting to sell myself on it, really and truly, which brings us back to this X conversation, right? You can go all in for that X player, right? That one guy, the guy. Or you can get complementary pieces that just fit your team. And I go back to, I'm a basketball guy. You go back to let's go to the 95 Utah Jazz. 95, 96, 95. Can't remember what year. They had great players on that squad. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying they're scrubs. You had a Jeff Hornacek. You had a Stockton. You had a Brian Mitchell. Was it Brian Mitchell? Brian Mitchell. You had Karl Malone and Greg Ostertag. Okay.
Jerry Sloan was holding it down, right?
Jerry Sloan holding it down. For you basketball heads, y'all know what I'm talking about. Ostertag ain't elite, but he does his role. He knows his role. He knows how to do what he's supposed to do. Karl Malone, Mr. Automatic. Get out of his way. He's just in the post, and he's got that elbow jump shot. He just nails it. I don't understand how he does it, but he does. Hornacek, you put him on the corner, got you. Stockton, dish. I mean, everyone's got their roles. They're not elite in any way, shape, or form, but they're just good at what they do. And they spread the ball around. They made it to the NBA Finals. That's the most boring team you would look at. You ever look at the Utah Jazz, you're like, what? Jeff Hornacek? Stockton with them short shorts?
That's like 3 Hall of Famers on that starting 5, though.
Listen, but when you have longevity like Stockton, you're nice like that. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not even hating on them, but you wouldn't look at them and say, wow. You wouldn't, right? Except for Karl Malone. Karl Malone's that guy. So, like, you're not, and the point I'm trying to make is you don't necessarily have to have that one guy. You just have to have role players that do the right gig. So if a guy like Xavier Worthy comes on the squad, he will take the top off the defense, allows the guys to work underneath like a Curtis Samuel. And now you just got to, there's levels to this shit. Now you got to make sure that you got this guy covered. Now you got to make sure. So I'm saying, so there's a way to look at how these things are played out. So, like, you don't necessarily have, and this is where I come back to, you don't got to reach for that one guy, which I do love that you want to get that one guy. But if you get the right guy for the right piece that you want on the squad, which I think the Bills are going to do, I think we're going to have success no matter how you look at it. Now, this list that I see here, I think it's bang on. I think it's great. Someone's going to shake it up.
I agree.
Somebody's going to shake it up. I just don't know who.
Depends on who you think it is. Whoever you think it is, you can go and throw a little bit on it. There's some crazy odds on here, so you can take advantage. 125% deposit match, up to $2,500 on your first 3 deposits. Link in the description below via BetUS. Also, that $125 in free play. Just first 5 people to DM me on Twitter, you can get in on that. Just send a screenshot of your account. But yeah, I agree with you, Rico. I think that these lines are bang on as well. And I also think that the top 3 is going to fall exactly like that. We keep being told there's going to be a surprise here and a surprise there. Maybe Neighbors jumps up. I don't see it. We've been hearing Marvin Harrison Jr. at the top this entire offseason. I can't imagine it's just going to switch on a dime like that. But the interesting part to me is when you get off of those top 3, then how does the board fall? How it falls. I mean, because I've seen Ertz mock to the Bills. I've seen him mock to the Chiefs. A variety of different outcomes. The question is how many is it going to be? Is it going to be 6 or 7 receivers out of the first round, or are the Bills going to be one of those teams?
I think it's going to be the 6. I think the 6 go in that first round. And things are going to change. Did you look who is it that's got type 1 diabetes? I think Adonai Mitchell.
No, does he really?
It came out that Adonai Mitchell has type 1 diabetes. I don't know much about diabetes. I know there's type 1 and type 2. I don't know there's one that you're born with, and there's
that's
one that
type 1, I think.
Is that type 1 that you're born with, and then the other one you just ate yourself to type 2 diabetes? You feel me? Or you drank yourself to that, whatever the case is. But apparently he's got type 1 diabetes. Is it Adonai Mitchell or Leggett that has it? I think it was Adonai Mitchell. And now, and I hate when this happens because they wait till near the end of or close to the draft and these things start coming out. And now, I mean, teams start looking at, okay, so Adonai Mitchell, I mean, they may have not liked his interviews. And now he's a bit of a, maybe he might be a wild horse. And now you've got this issue that you got to deal with diabetes that you have to be on top of it, because if you're not, you're in trouble. So there's a lot of those things that go into play when these things start coming out. And there's going to be way more drama that comes out of these situations where like one guy's going to have a freaking bong to his head. Like Trevontroy Sweat, his stock just plummeted. I wouldn't say plummeted, but it went down a stock because he was caught DUI. And he had like triple the amount of alcohol in his system. So it's crazy how these things are going to start to come out. So type 1 diabetes, I believe, is what he's got. And now most folks are like, I don't know if I want to deal with that. So now he may drop. Or maybe he doesn't. We'll see. We shall see. It's going to be interesting.
I don't know if that would concern me all that much.
It wouldn't concern you? You mean to tell me somebody has got some kind of medical issue and it wouldn't kind of make you, I'm about to invest millions of dollars in you, and this is what's coming up? That's got to make you pause for cause a little bit. But I don't know anything about diabetes. Maybe it's very like manageable. It's not a big deal.
I think it is. I mean, he's lived with it his whole life, so he's certainly adapted to the lifestyle. And I mean, I don't think diabetes is gonna ruin his play out on the field. I would imagine.
I would imagine too. I don't think it would, but I mean, you never know. And some teams might be out. They might be. Hey, you know what? I'm out on that.
See that? I could easily see that. I could easily see teams that, like you said, you're investing that much. You want everything to be about as perfect as it can possibly be. You know what I mean?
You have guys like Signified Nose that says our injury luck the last 2 years, I'm taking no chances on a player like that. And there's sometimes people might think that way. Real talk.
See, the crazy thing is the injury luck's been terrible on the defensive side, but it has been extraordinary on the offensive side. That's what people forget. Like, that's the one thing. The luck on the offensive side has been about as good as you could possibly hope for. It's just unfortunate that we haven't been able to combine it with the defensive side of things.
So, perfect. I'm so glad you brought the defensive side of things, right? Because Signified Nose said something earlier, and I found it interesting because I was talking about Tom Brady and what he was able to do. And I think that Josh Allen could be on the level of Tom Brady by not needing a whole lot of weapons. Just get the right pieces on the team. So Signified Note says Brady has Randy Moss. He also had the best tight end ever. Debatable. Best coach ever. Also, but it's debatable. And he's damn good. Don't get me wrong. Basically, he has a top 10 defense his entire career. And if we're being honest, he had a top 5 defense for more than half of it. So Signified knows, where did our defense rank in all of Josh's career? Where did they rank? They ranked at least a top 10 in all of Josh's career. All of Josh's career, they're either ranked top 5 or top 10. Not once were these guys out of the top 10 defensively, right? So, and you've had Stephon Diggs. You had at one point LaShawn McCoy. It's not like he's had scrubs around him. He's had success. So that being said, I'm not sleeping on Josh Allen having major success, not having the next. I don't think he necessarily needs the next. He had great success with Stephon Diggs, but now maybe we take another approach. Or we just go get somebody that doesn't have the personality that Stephon Diggs has. Maybe we go get a mild-mannered type of receiver. We shall soon see. Pierre also had this to say. He says, I need a player to buy in. Some probably weren't. Oh, yes. So in that press conference, I don't know if you remember that part, right?
Yes.
I need players to buy in. So to me, immediately when I heard that, I was like, ooh, that's a potential shot at Stephon Diggs, that maybe Stephon Diggs was clocked out. Maybe he clocked out and was like, yo, and like he said, he didn't feel, rumors has it that he said that this team wasn't good enough to win. So if you already have that mentality, you're already clocked out.
Right.
You're not all the way in. So maybe Josh knew that, yo, you're not bought in because I'm not going to you and I can see your attitude changing. So yeah, and no different than when you can tell Caroline might be a little upset because you didn't do something. You're like, yo, what's wrong? Nothing.
It's the worst.
Yeah.
It just makes whatever's wrong worse.
Right.
And that's what I think a lot of this had to do with. It was just a lot of that.
Yeah.
That could have definitely been fixed and they just weren't for whatever reason.
And I think that's probably what a lot of it was. Hey, what's wrong? Nothing. But everybody's kikiing around and you're having a good time and it's fine. I'm okay. Whatever.
Exactly.
You know what? I'm out of here. We're Khalil, you ready to go? Let's go. Because if you want to be here, you're gonna be here. I'm not saying that he didn't want to be here, but you catch what I'm saying. You catch what I'm saying, man. What's Kingpin saying? Kingpin says, yo, Brady had Deion Branch, Troy Brown, Wes Welker, Edelman for a large majority. And then Moss did take the top off. And that's sometimes just what you needed. They went 17-0 because of that. You just have to find the right mix. I mean, you have a future Hall of Famer in that regard. But at the end of the day, it's just about the right pieces, the right time. And hopefully this is the year that we put it together. But golly, man, you got me scared when you said, yo, 7 years turns into 10, 10 turns into 13. And now you're like, shoot.
That's what this next draft class is going to be ushering in. That's what you have to think about. You know what I mean?
I'm telling you, man. Rico and Zebot like Justin Shorter. I mean, we don't know anything about Justin Shorter, man. We're about to find out this offseason.
I've heard more about this guy this offseason. I mean, I can't even tell you.
Listen, we'll see. We'll see. That's all we can do is we'll see. If he comes out and he balls out and he's a gem that we just had to just, you know what I mean, let him marinate and let him get better and let him be in the system. And now he's ready to go. Now we have a new offensive coordinator. So we'll see. We shall soon see.
That we will, Rico. In about a week. I can't wait.
It's gonna be crazy. So if you guys are interested, we might even take some. You know what? One thing we have not done during draft season, in the time that we've been doing this since Josh Allen got drafted. Actually, I started filming. We started doing the YouTube thing in 2017, and obviously we did the Facebook Live and stuff. But 17 is when we drafted Josh Allen. 18, excuse me, and we did the draft that year, bro. I think we might do Collins this draft. We never do Collins. Maybe we do Collins, and this will help the time pass because there's gonna be time we waiting and all that stuff. So it'll be mad interesting.
And Jeff King set the bar high for that last year. High.
Listen, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun with all the speed in the draft class. Imagine if we do lock up on a Randy Moss type. Time to dream, baby. Let's go. Remember who we have. Listen, man, I can't wait. This draft is gonna be fun. It's gonna be great. And the only thing that's gonna suck if the Bills trade out, and then now we're stuck watching the rest of the first round of everybody else.
If they do it, I hope they do it early. You know.
Yeah, I hope they listen. Maybe they trade up in our nights over early, or they trade out and we have a big, huge day 2 day, and you won't even be there because you'll be at the wedding.
No, I'll be there for day 2. I'll be at home though. I'll be able to hop on, but at home. The wedding's Saturday, so day 3.
Day 3 you won't be. Yeah. Day 3. Listen, man, I might shut that thing down early. I don't know, or I might be a trooper because that's a 5-hour day, folks. You guys don't realize that's a long day sitting in this chair. My back was killer.
And the Bills have a ton of picks though in day 3.
It'll be fun. So at least they have picks, but Brandon Beane's gonna trade out of them and stock up for next year. So he ain't picking 10 guys. He ain't gonna pick 10 guys.
He could trade up into the 3rd though.
We'll see
because they don't have one.
We will see. Are you down to take a couple calls before we?
Always.
If we are going to take calls, we want to take calls on the topics that we hit today, and we were talking about, and it doesn't always have to be about football, folks, because we talked about food. We talked about paying the bill. And are you Jersey guy? What do we call it? What do we call Jersey guy?
Adult Jersey guy.
Adult Jersey guy. Who are you? Which adult are you? Are you an adult Jersey guy that wears jerseys any chance he gets? He's got a closet full of jerseys. He's got that Tom Brady jersey that he likes to wear. That's got the one peeling off, but he still rocks it because he's got that and he's got his New Balances. Are you that guy? You know what I'm saying? Are you the guy that doesn't like embarrassment? If we all go out as friends, a group of friends, there's 12 of us. Are we ready to be the guy that pays, or are we? Whoa! Who ordered what? Did you order that? That was you, right? You're paying for that because ain't nobody. What kind of guy are you? Or if you go out with another couple, are we? Is the one couple paying for the other, and it's just tit for tat? Is that how it works? Would you do that? If you and I, me and Jenna, you and Caroline go out, are we paying separately for our meals, or do we say, hey, no, we got it?
So, like I said, I usually read the vibe is always, I feel like, tangible, right? Like we have the unwritten rule here where we just know that all the guys are going to pay for it equally. That's how we see it. And that's typically how we do it. But I'll say this. I think if you go out enough with people, what's the difference between just someone picking it up one time and then someone picking it up the other time?
It's a mutual understanding.
Yeah. I think that when you go out with a bunch of people, I think divvying it up amongst a couple people evenly. I'm not talking like once you get into when you start pinpointing in on the itemized list of the bill, you can go right to hell. I don't even look at the bill, honestly. What's the point of looking at the bill? You've already done the damage. Just throw the card down. That's just what I do.
Well, hold on now, big baller.
Yeah.
Because there might be a charge on there that the server snuck in there, and all of a sudden you're paying for a Dom Perignon bottle of wine that you had no idea. You didn't look at the card, and all of a sudden you're looking at a $1,200 bill. Like, whoa, $1,200, but that snuck in 2 bottles of wine. So you got to look at it. You can't be big baller and just blindly throw your card on the table now.
You want to know what it is? It might come across like, oh, look at big baller. It's more of I can't take the pain of looking at this. Just take the freaking card and get the hell out of it.
Big baller bot.
That's take the card, get it. I don't even want to know what the hell this costs. Just go.
Bro, you're just a whole bunch of names today, bro. Big booty bot, big baller bot, bent brim bot. Yo, it just keeps going.
If you got 3 Bs, I'm your guy. I mean, that's pretty much how it rolls.
So we are going to take calls. This is the first topic we touch on. Don't be touching about anything else. We stay on the topic. This is something new that we're doing on the fly here, by the way. I think it keeps things moving along. It keeps things fresh. And my man Z-Bot cares, yes, but it's the vibe. If you hit the right notes, I pay the whole thing. If you're trying to flex, you paying half.
No doubt. You're coming out. You're sitting down. You're ordering the tomahawk steak and shit. You better have that card ready.
Yo, BBL bot in the building.
Tell you what, I don't need one, baby. I'm all natural on this side.
All right, so let's put the links out real quick, and we'll go from there. And in the meantime, I'm gonna tell a story on when I was young. You know, when you're in college and you broke. And we went out with a big group of people, and we went to Toronto. And at this point, I think I was newly married, and I was working at the dealership at the time. So like, if anybody's ever worked at a dealership, a car dealership, it's like if you have good months, you got good months. If you have some tough months, you have some tough months, and there's all the in between. So I was all right as a salesman. I was like first year, second year into it. Anyway, long story short, we're in Toronto. We all go to this place, and my boy's like, yo, and I should have learned my lesson when we were walking down. If anybody's from Toronto area, we're walking down. Where's the area we're walking? Anyways, it was a posh area. So we go to this restaurant, and before we go to the restaurant, he goes into a boutique. First of all, when you go into a boutique, know that you're about to spend money in a boutique. You don't go we're not a strip mall. This is a boutique. He goes into a boutique and buys a regular white tee. And he brings out the white tee, and I was like, yo, what'd you get? He's like, oh, I bought a white t-shirt. I was like, a white t-shirt? He's like, yeah, cool. I was like, oh, there's no design on it? I'm thinking like, what's going on? Right? And he's like, nah, man. And guess how much he spent on that white t-shirt? $175 on his white t-shirt. I was like, what? I was like, okay. It must be designed by someone, but I knew when he went to a boutique, you spent some money. So now we're going to a restaurant. This is the next day, we're going on brunch. And everybody's like, so what are we just gonna like? There's a bunch of us, like 12 of us. Are we just gonna order and then we'll split the bill afterwards? And I'm like, yo, I ain't got the money these guys got, but I'm here now. So everybody, I'm watching what I order. This is why I don't want to do this again, right? So I'm watching what I order. So I'm like, I'm just gonna order that because I know that's what I got in my bank account. Everybody does the mental calculations of what's in your bank account and what I can and what I can't spend, right? So long story short, the bill comes out, right? And boom, waiter gladly puts it on the table because he knows I'm about to get tipped real good. So I'm thinking, what did I spend? So everybody's okay. So you got this and you got that and you got this and so I think my meal that I bought was only like $17. So I was gonna put $25. There's $25. Take all that stuff, right, bro? Everyone ends up paying $80 each. I was like, how am I paying 80? But then I'm young. I'm like, I don't got the money like that. So now I know if I'm going somewhere, know that I got to bring enough money that if I have to handle myself and everything else, I got to. You learn that along the way. So we'll get into that chatter afterwards. We're going to get into adult jersey guy. So
the only time you can spend big money on a t-shirt at a boutique, Rico, is at Dan Flash's. That's the only place you can see. The more crazy the pattern, the more money it's worth.
The more money you're gonna spend for real.
You're spending $150 on a white shirt. You can go to hell for that.
Yo, my man, listen, he's a big time actor. He's moved to. He's actually, did I tell you it's my friend that married Eddie Murphy's daughter, Bria.
I didn't even know you had a friend that married Eddie Murphy's daughter.
Yeah, my man Mike, man, Big Mike. He was my best man. He was one of my groomsmen in my wedding. That's my guy, right?
Oh, so, he was flexing on your ass then.
Listen, this is what it is. And I say, yo, you can flex all you want, but that's not me. You know what I'm saying? I'm the broke friend. I ain't doing that. You know what I mean? I got kids. I can't be doing all that BS. But anyway, so here's the topic, folks. Adult jersey guy. Are you him? Right? Are you taking your jersey, your best crisp jersey? You went and got yourself a $300 jersey and you about to rock that because I spent money on that. I spent money and I'm about to rock it. But the question is, are you rocking it to the grocery store? Are you rocking it to your daughter's basketball game to prove that you got yourself a jersey?
We're not talking grocery store Sunday 11 o'clock before the game. We're talking like Tuesday afternoon in April. That's the stones we're laying down here.
It's not even football season yet. You feel me? That's what we're talking about. So listen. So I see Bartek's in the building. I see
Get Bartek the hell in here, will ya?
Listen, Bartek, it's my guy. Bartek.
Look at this guy.
Bartek, are you a jersey guy, first and foremost?
BT, what's happening, brother?
Yo, good to see you guys. I'm just driving, so don't mind me, but I'll be looking on the road. But
no, you'll be looking at us, damn it. You look at us.
I can't keep my eyes off you guys. You guys look too beautiful today. But I before we get to the jersey thing, I wanted to touch base with the thing you were talking about, the food that you had, that it was like so tiny and it was like. So when I went to freaking Greece, what was it, a summer or two ago with my girlfriend, we went to Santorini, right? And you know, the prices there are like they're honestly pretty similar to, because it's the euro, you know, pretty similar to American prices in like cities and shit. It wasn't anything like, you know, it wasn't like, oh, it's way cheaper. But the thing is, so we're eating at these restaurants, right? I mean, amazing food, all this stuff. And then I was like, okay, you know, we're here. Let's go to like a fancier restaurant. and so I look up like one. My girlfriend looks up one that's like, you know, like just you know, 5 stars, fucking all this shit, right? Sorry for cussing and stuff, but it still gets me mad to this day.
Hey, so I like this. A little vengeance on that bill.
And it was like some seafood fusion thing, right? And I've like never heard of this before, and I'm just like, okay, like I'm not a huge seafood guy. I mean, I like sushi, I like calamari, all that fish once in a while, you know, some salmon, but I'm not like an oyster guy, any of that. But the thing is, I was so we go to this restaurant and I'm looking at the menu. I mean, God, just by the beer, just how much the beer costs, I already knew I'm in for a long day. You know,
you're not eating in your budget area. You're above the budget.
Yeah. You know,
the restaurant has fusion in it. The fusion stands for fucked.
Yeah, so I had no idea what it was about, but I get a beer and then order the food. We get an appetizer. It was like octopus or something. I'm like, I don't know, that's a little out of my realm, but I'll try it, right? And then and so we ordered that. It's like a tiny piece. I mean, it is freaking tiny, and it has like some weird, you know, sauces. They make art out of it, out of food. You know what I mean?
There we go.
It costs like fucking, I don't know, it was in euros, but now the dollar's a little weaker than the euro, but it was around like $30 for an appetizer, right? For that, just because of the way it was played and all this.
You're done.
Bartek, the phone bill.
You're cutting out, Bartek. You're in and out.
Bartek, I said that octopus put you so far under, you're not even paying the phone bill.
No, I'm driving in freaking Pennsylvania, so they might they don't have the best service out here, even though I have Verizon.
What was your bill? What was your final bill? How much did you end up paying in that restaurant?
Oh, I ended up paying like almost $150 for 2 people, and literally the food portion was so small. I left there hungry. I was pissed because I've been eating well this whole trip, and for like way cheaper. You know what I mean? And then we go to supposedly all this like a 5-star restaurant, supposed to be so good, all this ambiance, all this stuff, and it was like it was hard to get a reservation there, and I was just like,
see, Bartek, listen, you were trying to be a baller and you weren't a baller. And then when you found out that you had to pay $30 for an appetizer, you're like, oh, snap. But your girl's like, but it's 5-star restaurant and you can't look like, oh, shit. So you had to pay up and it killed you.
Yeah. No, but the thing is, Rico, the thing is, it's fine. If I knew I was going to end up paying a lot going there. That's totally fine. I was expecting that.
That's the key right there. It's because he got a little octopus. That's why he's pissed.
It's the portions.
It's a matter of like, okay, if I'm gonna pay a lot, I expect to eat well, like eat a good amount and eat like good food. But it was neither of those two things. So
that hurts. Exactly. Bartek, we appreciate you. We appreciate the story. We appreciate your support. You've been listening to us for a long time. It's always appreciated, brother.
Yeah, of course, boys. And I'm gonna keep pressing you guys about seeing each other at a game sometime. I'm not gonna forget.
Damn it! You press Rico and Pierre, for Christ's sake.
We'll try to make it happen, baby. We'll try to make it happen. Bartek, drive safe, buddy.
Oh yeah. Enjoy, boys.
I'll see you, BT. Freaking love him. And I'm telling you, every time I talk to you, Rico, Bartek tells me once a week we got to do a game.
I'm telling you, it has to happen.
I say it's your guys' fault.
What would you title our food topic today? Because I have Are You Adult Jersey Guy, but what would you title the food?
Getting had at the restaurant. Getting bamboozled.
My gosh, your accent, your Western New York accent threw me right there. You said getting had. But it didn't sound like getting had. It said like getting head. I was like, what? Come again, sir?
Take that over the $30 octopus. I'll tell you that much.
You did right. All right. Let's jump into Only Bot because we got my man Richie. What's up, Richie?
Now, Richie, he's a huge Jersey guy, so this is going to be tough. We're going to have to hear that you're going to have to defend your territory here.
I'm actually not the biggest Jersey guy.
Come on.
No, I
look at it like this. If you're doing, like you said, if you buy a jersey and you're doing something on game day, that's one thing. For me, if I'm throwing out a couple Buffalo TikToks, I'll throw the jersey on. If I'm coming on like here, the AFC Roundtable, I'll throw the jersey on. But you catch me out on a Tuesday going to the gym or
the gym is wild.
Or I don't know. I'm just saying, going to the grocery store on a Tuesday, unless it's the game got postponed to Tuesday like it did the one year. Nah, you ain't catching me in a jersey.
Dude,
when do you wear jerseys? Only when you call shows or just the football games? When do you wear jerseys?
Football games, obviously like the draft. If I'm going over to watch a game, something like that.
What about mowing the lawn?
Hell no.
Why? I can't. Mowing the lawn guy with a jersey guy? Knock it off.
No. I may have a Buffalo
ride with a jersey on, knock it off.
On. Like I got a lot of Buffalo Bills t-shirts and hoodies and stuff. If it's a little cooler, I'll throw one of those on. But you ain't catching me in a jersey doing that.
We good. So we on the same page. So listen, I'm just do not wear the jersey until the jersey is to be worn A, during football season, B, to a football event, or C, to a football game. That is
who's the most notorious fan base for doing this, by the way?
Dallas Cowboys.
Cowboys. Yep. It's always an Emmitt Smith jersey too. Every time.
There's a couple Philly guys. I know a Philly guy. He does the same damn thing.
Yep.
Listen,
it's either a Niners Jerry Rice jersey or an Emmitt Smith Cowboys jersey.
It's an NFC. It's NFC cats. NFC cats always are Saints jerseys. You always see a freaking Deuce McAllister jersey. Knock it off.
Jesus God.
Can't and won't do it. So I'm glad that you're not the adult jersey guy because it's just keep the jerseys for the right moments. Just don't
like I said, if I'm not wearing it today, but like normally if I'm calling in here or like I said, AFC's Roundtable, I put the jersey on. But
listen, I get it. It's a football event. You're calling for a football event, football show. It's apropos. But I'll see a guy where I gotta get a little of this guy. Wearing a get.
I did think
you're just gonna spark a conversation. Knock it off.
I think Alan did take a couple little shots there at Diggs there in the press conference.
Did you feel that?
A little bit. When he
Where
was
did you feel that?
when he was saying like, "Oh yeah, we want a guy in here that's
Mike
if he can't always get the ball, he's not complaining," and I feel like just a little under the rib shot there.
Well, here's the thing: you'll know if it's a shot if Diggs. I mean, I know people are weirdos like that, and that's another thing too. I gotta write this down because monitor tweet guy. Right? Monitor somebody's DM guy. You know what I mean? There's always a guy that's going in somebody's likes and seeing.
That is full-time jersey guy. That is full-time jersey guy.
Full-time jersey guy / monitor DM guy. Knock it off. You're one and the same. So somebody, jersey guy, is going to be looking in Stephon Diggs' DMs and looking at his likes and his reposts and be like, okay, did he say anything? Did he say anything? Oh, there it is. Boom. And now you've got yourself some content. So Richie, I appreciate that you found the one thing that
Andy,
made
not Richie.
Was this sorry?
It's Andy, not Richie.
Andy, my bad. You know, I thought it was Richie Fresh. My bad. Andy is Johnson, right?
Yep.
My man, Andy Johnson. Andy, because you changed your name to OnlyBot, man.
I had to today. It was just too funny.
He's a loyal subscriber. That's all right. We can't knock that, Andy.
Yeah, I appreciate it, Andy. You are the man.
I'm with you on the tilt there, Z. I'll be up there.
Yeah.
Oh shit! So that's a new topic.
I can't do the straight. It don't look right on my head.
Oh my!
Don't look right.
I look like I belong in beyond solitary confinement when I put one of those on.
Yeah, nobody likes monitor DM guy. Nobody likes that guy.
Monitor
if you're that guy, nobody likes that guy.
No, monitor DM guy, wild guy.
Monitor. I gotta put that up there. Andy, I appreciate your phone call, brother. And listen, try to give it a shot of not bending the cap too much. Just give it a shot.
Bend the shit out.
It's gotta have at least a good little ridge. If it's too straight, it just don't look right on my forehead.
They call him Angle Andy the way that thing's bent. That angle's at a 90-degree angle on that hat. Damn it. You keep bending it, Andy.
Keep bending it, Andy. Andy, we appreciate you, brother.
Love it.
DM guy.
Well, hold on, Andy. I was going to say Andy did retire the jersey today. He didn't want to come on with the jersey, which I appreciate.
And I respect that. He doesn't have to always wear it. But if he was one guy that always wore it, like we'd have a problem. But we have a problem with this guy. Monitor DM, monitor account guy.
Wicked.
Oh,
wicked.
Bro, there's some things that
guy. Wow.
Do you know a few of those guys? Do you know any personal friends that are like that?
No. No.
Bro. I see it all over Twitter feed. I'm like, how did you guys get that information? I looked at his Instagram.
That's the one that you want to know what's even crazier than monitor DM guy? Monitor the unfollowing guy.
Oh, yo, did you see him? He unfollowed this guy. How'd you know that?
How? Because if you go on Instagram, it's not based on the most recent person you followed. I'm pretty sure it's in like alphabetical order. So you got to be like Kim Possible in that shit. You got to be like hacking into the back end of that to figure it out.
The fact that you just said Kim Possible is wild to me. Yes, he fought. It was a Kim Possible from the left corner. But yo, monitor DM guy, monitor unfollow guy, bro. Monitor said player on all social media accounts to make sure things sync up guy.
That guy is a huge Tapas guy. Usually he's at the Tapas bar monitoring.
No, he don't got the money for that. That guy don't have the money for that. He's too busy scrolling through DMs and all that stuff.
That's a job. That's a job, monitor guy.
Golly, man. That crazy. They could all just be merged into one. But anyway, we're gonna take another phone call from my guy Signified Nose. What up, Signified?
There he is. What up,
guys?
What do you got the Kirko chains on today? What the hell is that?
Yeah, I just got back. Well, I've been back for a couple hours. I've just been sitting down watching the stream. I just got back from a baseball game or softball game at work.
He's giving us Kirko chains, Garden Minshew vibe.
Yeah,
right now.
I picked it up at the airport the other day.
Hell yeah, look at that thing.
Yeah, it was like $30. This was stupid.
Now imagine rocking that to the grocery store. That might trump Jersey guy. That right there. That would be wild. That would be crazy.
No, that's looking for attention guy.
Honestly, so I'm not. When I was young, I would like wear any jersey out.
Oh, hell yeah! When you're a kid, every damn day, no doubt. I did the same thing.
When I was like 20, I think like every day I was wearing my either Anthony Davis or one of my LeBron jerseys, like every day. Now it's like basketball, so it's like different because it's a tank top.
Basketball, I feel is appropriate because summertime you want to wear a jersey, it's nice. Cut off jersey, it's cool, but NFL, baseball jersey, hockey. I don't know of anybody that just wears hockey jerseys. That's wild if you do.
I used to do that too when I was young, but I don't do that now. That's a lot.
That's too much. But then that's what, because you were still, you mean, adolescent, getting up there, but adult grown man guy wearing baseball jersey guy, no, cut it up. But you're not that guy.
It is 10 times worse to wear an NBA jersey to the grocery store than an NFL, though. I'll just say that. 10 times worse.
What time of the year is it?
I don't give a damn. You walk into a basketball jersey on, no way. Not a chance.
So I guess I'm a hypocrite because I'm thinking,
yes,
NBA jersey guy, fine.
Because an NFL jersey is more of a t-shirt. If you're walking in with the cutoff, cutoff LeBron jersey into the grocery store, you want to talk about seek attention guy. That's seek attention guy.
Well, that could be guy. That could be, I go to the gym and I look, all right, I want to show the guns off a little bit.
No, you cannot wear a basketball jersey to the gym. That is 100%. That is no way.
I think wearing a jersey to the gym.
Wow, I think we just found the threshold here, Rico.
Talk to me. Talk about it. I listen.
You're on the other end of the fence on this one. I mean, what say you, Signified?
I think wearing a jersey to the gym is weird. I don't care what jersey.
I'm not saying wearing the jersey to the gym. I'm saying the guy wearing the jersey to the grocery store goes to the gym, showing off what he's worked out at the gym. So he's showing the guns off, and that's
I guess. I never wore a tank top, like just the tank top. I was wearing that jersey with like a hoodie on underneath it, or like a t-shirt underneath it.
Hell yeah, we're sweating it down, no doubt.
Yeah. Well, I was skinny back then. I was like a twig back then. So yeah. I'm not walking around with a t-shirt or a tank top like that.
Signify knows. I want you to just jump on this real quick because my man Z-Bot over here.
Stop it.
He purchased himself a Caitlin Clark jersey, and I'm all for it.
She's cool. She's great.
Herself. However, Mr. Z-Bot doesn't realize that potentially he may have got a women's cut jersey, so it may fit him. You know what I'm saying? Real nice, real snug. Should he return it or should he just wear it as is?
You made the Michael Scott joke. Yeah, I'd 100% return it. I'm not.
Thank you for because not everybody knows that Michael Scott joke.
I've seen that show more times than I can count. So
that's my show. He pretty much went to the bargain bin.
We have to wait and see what it looks like when it's
trying to say it. No, it's an Italian cut. It's an Italian cut.
Because if that thing is hugging my hips, it's gone. I can't be doing that.
Yeah, I'm not wearing a women's cut. That's weird. I'm wearing a baseball jersey.
Z-Bot, what size of jersey did you get? Did you get the XL?
Yeah.
Okay, the XL? Okay. I wonder if you have to go double XL just because of how it's cut. I don't know. I guess
it's going to be a trial and error process. I'm looking forward.
You're right.
May have to do it live here on the show, and I get it.
You're definitely going to have to do that for sure.
Yeah.
No t-shirt underneath, right? Just guns. Straight guns.
Oh, no. Are you kidding me? I didn't buy that to be humble.
Wear t-shirt under basketball jersey guy? Not a fan.
Wicked.
Not a fan.
That's almost like wearing t-shirt under the polo guy.
T-shirt under the polo.
Wait,
hold on. You go, hold on. Time out.
Come on.
Are you no undershirt under polo guy?
Hell yeah.
Oh.
You want to know why? I'm a grown ass man.
Listen, I have to say, wearing just no shirt under shirt guy. Ooh, I need an undershirt, like a beater underneath. Then I feel okay.
No. A beater is one thing. I'm talking white tee, like white
tee under polo.
Yeah,
I think I might be with you.
Yeah. Yes.
Signify knows. I got a question because you brought something up earlier. I'm gonna see if I can try to find it, my brother. You were talking about the Brady thing.
Oh boy. Yeah.
So I think Pierre checked you when he said Troy Brown, Edelman, Welker, Deion Branch. Like those aren't elite guys. I mean, and Tom Brady was able to get it done with those cats.
Well, let's not pretend like Julian Edelman was a scrub. Like, sure, he's not elite, but Julian Edelman was really good, especially in the playoffs. He's like what, number 2 receiver all time, like yards in the playoffs.
Hall of Famer, I'll die on that hill, and that's coming from a Bills fan.
Who's the Hall of Famer?
Julian Edelman. Don't
know about that, but really? Has he ever made the Pro Bowl in his career?
He won a Super Bowl MVP.
He did. Like that's really going to carry him. Like his playoff stats and that Super Bowl MVP. I don't know about Hall of Fame. I respect Julian Edelman though, even if he's a juice head. I think he's better than I think Pierre was giving him credit for.
Well, listen. We'll see. Listen, we'll see how it all checks out and plays out with the way the Bills. I almost spoke with the lift there. I went with the Bills. We'll see how it all plays out with how Josh Allen acclimates himself with his boys, and is he going to need an X? Does my man go get himself a guy? We shall soon find out. But Signified knows you're the man. I appreciate you. One last question before you get out of here. Do you wear fitted caps? You wear ball caps? What kind of ball caps you wear?
Hold on, it's right here.
We're about to find out what kind of guy you are.
I wear a fitted one. This one has seen some damage though. I gotta get a new one.
I'm sorry. What did you call that?
That's a dad cap. That ain't a fitted.
Yeah. Shame on you. So you're done. You're done. You're out of here. Signify knows. Much love. Appreciate you. You've been listening for a long time, man. Big time supporter.
Big time.
Love that. That's my guy. How dare he? Did he just call a bent back? Call that a fitted? Boy, you better step off stage.
That's disrespectful to the Triple B club.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, even for you, brother. I don't get that part. We got another guy calling in right now.
Play the music.
Should we play the music?
I don't know, because he looks like he's sick in bed. So
no. He looks like he's cozy.
Oh.
That looks like a cozy brother to me.
Doing everything to work in this guy on a Friday. I swear to God, this guy.
Yeah, let me set that up real quick because there's only one intro that I love from my brother, and it's coming right up. So folks, you guys know who it is, right? He said, God, I love that. Let's bring him on. Our guy.
Hey.
The thigh doc. Ooh,
hey,
you look cozy.
What's going on?
Is that a bold and brash? Whoa, is that a bold and brash behind you right there on the wall? Or is that the kids' artwork? No, the other way. Near the homemade Bills logo, which I love, by the way. I love that.
What's a bold and brash?
Oh, hold on. Let me show you.
I don't know what a bold and brash is.
Those are kids' YouTube shows.
No. Bold and brash right here. Bold and brash. You can't tell me that doesn't look a little like that.
No. That's he drew a Minecraft character.
Oh, all right.
I like it.
All right.
Have you been listening to the show, my good man?
Yeah, in and out. I'm running some errands today. Had the day
Wonderful.
off.
Looks like you're busy.
You know what? I would love to ask this professional, because he's a professional man. When you go for supper, you go for dinner. I don't know what some folks call it. Sometimes I hang around my in-laws too much, and they call it supper at 3 p.m. We're gonna have supper.
Red flag. Supper. No thanks.
There are times where we're eating at like 3 o'clock. I was like, fam, what are we doing? Is it lunch? We eating brunch right now? We're eating supper.
Only on Thanksgiving.
We gonna eat supper, but yeah, exactly. Anyway,
Tapas.
You, me, Bot, Pierre, Bobby, the whole crew, we go. Let's just say 6 of us go for supper, and we all just say, "Yo, we're just gonna order, and we're just gonna see how it all plays out at the end." How do we figure out who pays what? Are we saying, "Did you order that? Did you order that?" Or do we split it all the way down the bill? Or are you saying, "I got it, boys. Next time, somebody else gets it"?
No, Pierre gets it.
That's the best answer I've heard all day.
Pierre the Kingpin.
You can't say you're the kingpin if you ain't picking up the tab. TD, genius poll right there.
Listen, you know what? And whoever tries to ball up and sit at the head of the table, if you have the gall to sit at the head of the table, oh, you best believe that server is coming right to you, sir or ma'am, and you paying that thing.
Yeah. And
you don't say a word. You just slap that card down, and then we know for next time that, somebody else is next. How do you feel about that?
Yeah. Hey, if you're out with the boys, I usually just say, it's like an unwritten rule. Don't go crazy individually. And then we just split it on the cards at the end.
That's how I'm at. That's how I am.
So here's the thing that throws things off, because some guys are beer drinkers, right? This guy had 3 beers. This guy had 2 beers. I ain't a beer drinker. Let's just say I'm not the beer drinker. Is the liquor tab separate, or is that all in one? We just figured, oh no, you pay this, and how's that get broken up here?
See, let me answer that because I know, because Thigh Doc, he has a strategy. He comes to the bar where everyone's drinking booze, and he drinks the beer because he knows he's playing his angle there. He knows Well, it's the beer. Everybody else is drinking booze. What's a couple of beers on the tab? Because that's the strategy that you implement, right? That's the strategy you implement when you have answers like he just did, having Pierre pick up the tab. Always finessing. But you're not going to split it up based on the liquor. That's how I see it. It doesn't matter what's on there. It's all even to me. You can't itemize it. You can't
split it.
Split it on the bill. Are you a Jersey guy?
Not anymore. I grew out of my Jersey phase.
I do see some Zubas on you though right now. What do we got there? Show Rico. What is that?
We'll wait till the end of the call.
You're a fool. You're a damn fool.
All right,
here's guys. I'm home alone. You guys are in for it today.
Oh baby, not for long. Coming over.
I was like, yo, what's up with the blanket?
Hi, Doc. Have you had a tapas experience?
Tapas, yeah.
Talk to me about it.
Tapas are great. You just go. Everybody orders a dish. Usually the Spanish tapas. Good time for sangria.
Yeah, that I can agree with. But no, everybody just doesn't order a dish. That's not how this works.
No, you get a bunch and you share.
And it's a nightmare.
Well,
is he not cultured enough? Would you say he's not? Is it just because if he's not cultured enough?
I eat everything. I'm easy to go get tapas. People are pissed I'm eating too much.
That's what I was talking about earlier. Because it's almost guaranteed, and to some degree, you're going to look like a dick.
So he's the dick. He's the one that's eating too much.
No, he's
not
probably
leaving anything for anybody else.
He's doing it right. I mean, yeah, I guess you know.
No, you're not doing it right. You have to leave enough for others to eat. You can't just sit in there and just eat on everything.
I'm saying doing it right for as far as getting your fill. No, not doing it right from a social standpoint. Certainly not.
Here's what the fat kids do. We get our first plate. We take a bunch of things, and then when you see people slowing down and there's a couple things left on the plates, that's when you eat your second fill.
When it's nice and cold and all coagulated, it's when it's time to dive.
It's a good strategy. I'm not gonna lie. Sarah Christine comes in with a super chat. We appreciate you, Sarah. She goes, I'm so glad to have our Mafia and BF fan back and can't wait for the draft. By the way, Rico's right about our accents. Holy crap. Yes, I am. Buffalonians sound weird, eh? Oh, I see what you're doing, Christine. I see what you're doing with the A, and we don't speak that way, by the way. Great show, guys. I guess that's thanks. Love really you when you two team up. Just need Pierre now. Pierre's punk ass doesn't want to come on. He's too busy.
You'll see him next week for the draft. He'll be getting hammered with us.
He's too executive to come on and hang out with us. Boy, please, man, get your ass in here.
A suit.
I do like a nice A though. I do like a nice A. I'll throw a little A out there every now and then.
No, Christine thought she was slick. She was trying to make fun of Canadians because we some of us say, oh, we're going to the such and such A. We don't.
Well, a lot of Buffalonians do the A.
Do they?
Oh yeah.
I mean, you're right next to us, so I can see how that can merge in a little bit. So it does make sense.
Hockey.
Hey, Rico, you're in Canada. You Molson or Labatt?
Neither. I don't drink beer.
That's the right answer. It's the right
beer drinker.
Straight liquor only on this side. I'm
a rum guy, and that's how
You're not much of a drinker though.
I'm not, but when I do have my moments, I have my moments. But
you drink that white rum from the islands.
White rum, barbacoa, dark rum. I even dabbled into a nice sangria. I've never been a sangria guy, man. But a sangria on a hot summer day, boy, that's you.
It's
two glasses of that thing will get you kind of what?
Get you right.
What we talking about? Yeah, it gets me there.
I love sangria. I just had that the other day at the Tapas bar. It was the only thing that made it somewhat enjoyable.
Yo, Bot's fancy though. Bot's a fancy cat, man.
No,
he's a boat shoe guy. Do you wear boat shoes, Bot?
Sperry's, yeah.
Boat shoe Bot. Look at that boat shoe Bot. You got another one for you.
I am like your cartoonish, stereotypical like white guy. I wear the chubby shorts with the Sperry shoes and the Dave Matthews T-shirt. But the thing of it is that's what I look good in, or at least I look presentable in. If I'm wearing the non-bent brim hat, Rico, right, with the LeBron jersey and whatever else, I look like an idiot. So I gotta ride my own path, because if I don't, you can tell quite quick.
Listen, I'm with you. My man said I heard Pierre shaved his beard. I doubt Pierre's gonna shave his beard. He ain't gonna do it. There's no way. And speaking of beards, my wife says there's no way I'm shaving this. She doesn't allow it. You guys have both facial hair, but I haven't seen you without facial hair since like photos from way back in the day.
Yeah,
and you look mad young. I don't know if that's ever gonna go down. You ever shaving it?
No, never.
Never, huh?
I'm willing. I wanted to do it last year and I did, and I really wanted to. I don't know why I didn't. I think it just was a lapse in like the time, and I didn't get around to it. I'm pissed. I was gonna put it up for a bet to Dolphins Twitter on the Week 18 game, and I think I might table that to some game maybe coming up here, because that would be the only way I would do it. But there's gonna have to be a significant wager on the other side.
Listen, yeah, there has to be wager. It has to be significant enough that you'd even attempt or even consider doing that. Old fashioned, I tried an old fashioned once. It was the first time I ever had it. I was like, this is all right. Second one I had, I was like, this is too much for me. I can't do it. It's too like,
I love it.
I like a friendly drink, if that makes any sense. Nice friendly drink. It's just
Rico likes the sex on the beach and a little umbrella.
My man calls it a sassafras. He's like, yo, you like those sassafras drinks? I was like, yeah, I do, man. Hey, as long as we both get to the same point where you feel good, I feel good. Hey, what does it matter what I drink? I'm not gonna sit here and force myself to drink a old fashioned, sipping on that thing all night. I ain't interested.
If you could take one drink to a deserted island, what would it be?
White Hennessy.
Get the hell out of here. Are you serious?
Yeah. You can only get in the islands.
Dude, how would you taste like ass?
What would you bring?
Me?
Yeah.
Jameson.
Ooh, Jameson. I like a Jameson. Ooh, I'm with you.
Yeah.
I'm with you. I fuck with the Jameson. I mess with that.
I'm a red-cheeked Irish boy. I mean, I can't get enough of my JMOs and gingers, man. That's what I'd be doing.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. Listen, Thigh Doc, before we let you go, I know you have something theatrical for us. So theatrical. Wipe that stupid smirk off your face in the first place.
I think I'm gonna be a singlet. That's what my money's on.
What do you think it is?
I think it's a singlet.
He says a singlet.
Don't ruin it.
Well, Kurt,
you just gonna wear what? No way, it's a singlet.
Kurt Angle. He's gonna look at Kurt Angle right now.
What'd you want to ask me, Rico?
I was gonna say, yo, get on with the show.
Yeah, that was it. And you just said don't ruin it. So there's no way I was right. Let's see what you got here.
Alexa, play.
Oh no.
Oh. He's playing Mary. Here we go. You nailed it.
Dude, no, that's one of those Snuggie.
There goes my guy. He's gonna get a close up.
Let's see it. Go to a mirror. Oh, that's like a Spidey suit. That's like a Spidey suit.
Did you get all that?
You nailed it. You nailed it.
Oh my God, it's got the gloves and everything.
Bro, this is home opener feel for me. This is home opener. This is what you're gonna wear home opener.
Alexa, off. How was it?
That was
a little too short for me.
Well, it's my first time in this.
Well, it's only 3:00 on Friday. Thigh Doc's only a few in, all right.
Yeah, well, well, folks, if you guys are new to the show, you guys already know what time it is. We got my man Thigh Doc in the building. He gave us a little bit of thigh. He gave us. I saw that little gyration you did too. You give a couple pumps right there.
You ever mow the lawn in that?
What lawn we talking about?
No lawn.
All right, you're out of here, buddy. Okay. You're out of here. Yo, you're out of here. Yo, this guy's a fool. Ladies and gentlemen, that's our guy Thigh Doc. Listen, jokes aside, when the season starts and injuries happen, look at Ziva's like, what? When injuries do happen to our guys, our guy Thigh Doc is the guy to go to. He tells you, even just by looking at a photo, a still frame, even video, he will tell you, this is what it looks like. And he's usually damn right. So big shout out to our guy, Alex Lucci, aka the Thigh Doc.
No way. That was great.
What's up, Fluffy Panda? Come on, Rico. Tell us what it's all about. Oh, stop your nonsense. Tell us what's all about. I'm back luck jersey. Oh, you're back luck jersey guy. No. Me and EJ Manuel and Jack Eichel jersey. Hassick.
Well, Hassick's not a bad one to have. Shit, he's probably the last 20 years. The Hassick jerseys, that, the Vanek, the Afinogenov, and shit, the Danny Briere. That's probably the only ones you can rock these days.
Well, folks, the jersey guy is not a problem when the jersey is worn in an appropriate time. We're talking about in the middle of May when there's no football and you go into, you know what I'm saying? Give me something. You go into You're going to drop you're about to walk the garbage down to the driveway. Knock it off. All right. Put a damn t-shirt on and get that thing down to the driveway. You don't got to wear your jersey.
Wait,
right?
Here's one for
company
you.
guy. What's up?
What about shirtless lawnmower guy?
Shirtless lawnmower guy's okay because you work up a sweat when you mow that lawn. You know what I'm saying? And for those that like to get a tan while they do it, that's their moment to get a tan.
What if you're like a 65-year-old man?
Ooh, there are those guys. I mean, listen, I don't know what these.
That's usually those guys.
Yeah, listen, I will say this. I've seen enough of these guys mowing their lawns. I never understand why they take the t-shirt off. But I mean, they're all in the same mentality. So there's something going on. Maybe that's their way of heating up. So they need to take a shirt off. I'll never understand it. I will never understand it. But take your shirt off while you mow the lawn guy. I'm okay with him because you're outdoors and it just makes sense. You're working up a sweat. Take the shirt off. Get a cool breeze. Get yourself a tan. Away you go. Because nothing worse than mow the lawn guy with t-shirt guy. And when he does take his shirt off, all you have is the farmer's tan.
We got some breaking news, Rico.
Oh, break it down.
This just in via our own Buffalo Fanatics Twitter account. Shout out, Bobby. The Pagulas are selling 25% of the Bills per Tim Graham.
That is interesting. What the hell does that mean?
Wow.
Why? What's going on?
The Sabres wouldn't have shocked me even in the least bit. This is shocking. Let's pull it up.
This is your domain. Oh, that's a good question. Golly. We'll get back to that, Pierre. Here's the question. Why? Why are you selling 25% of the team? I don't know if this was a rumor, but I also saw that he's selling the Bandits, the Sabres.
Well, no,
I don't know how true that is.
Everybody wants him to sell the Sabres. I don't even think that's true. That's why I said that wouldn't have shocked me. I don't know if anybody saw this coming.
Well, what do you make of this? First of all, I mean, you go. Pegula goes and saves the Bills from being sold to McJaggart or to Trump. Or it saves them from being moved to even Toronto, which I would have absolutely hated if they moved them to Toronto, even if it's in my own country. I don't care. But selling 25% of the team, what are you doing and to whom? I guess the next thing is to who? Is this a Buffalo native? Is this someone that's from Buffalo? Do they plan to?
So
that's something interesting. I'll tell you that much.
Let's see what the Bills are currently valued at just under $4 billion. So that would be about $1 billion if he sold it.
You're right. Simple math makes it about $1 billion. You're right.
So first of all, the first point would be whoever is going to step up to the plate has to be a billionaire, unless there is a group, kind of like what Magic Johnson did with the Commanders. But I don't know if the Pagulas would sell 25% to a group. Do you want a group owning a quarter of the team? Now, here, let's just look at this from the beneficial standpoint. These teams are only going up and up and up and up and up and up. I mean, what did Pegula, what did he pay for the team?
Didn't he pay like something like? Didn't he just pay like just shy of $1 billion?
1.4. He's already more than double and a half his money. So I guess I got to tell you, there might be nothing more to this than it just makes sense to take $1 billion out in equity, because why not? You're essentially, Rico, think about it like this. This is insane. This is how much bigger. And people always know the NFL is big. I don't know if everybody quite realizes just how big it is and is continuing to get. But think about it like this, okay? If Pegula sells 25%, he's getting damn near all of the money back that he paid to own the entire team itself, meaning he's going to be the majority 75% owner with only $400 million out of pocket. And that was only 10 years ago. So in 10 years, Rico, He's made $2.3 billion on the evaluation of the Buffalo Bills. If he sells 25%, he'll get roughly $1 billion back, meaning he'll have roughly $400 million out of pocket to be a 75% majority owner. So if you're looking at it just from the business standpoint, it almost makes too much sense. But let's be a little tinfoil hatty here. Not every day. These teams are so lucrative, so valuable. They're only going up. Why now?
That's the question. The question is why now and to whom? To whom is the big one? Because
Pierre, right? Fluffy Fan is saying we got to get on it, and if we're taking Thydoc's angle, maybe Pierre can step up and grab it for us. But
I mean, and like I was thinking, maybe I'm not making any sense of here, but like he sells it to a group. Is the group like you know how like the Green Bay Packers are owned by the
public,
the public? So is 25%? Is there like a big group of people that's going to own this team so they make sure that it stays in Buffalo? I mean, listen, Tim Graham is the one that's breaking it, so I guess he's going to have to break it down to get the details.
So Gab asked, this isn't some internet dunk, just asking for clarification. Did something change after this tweet, or was this tweet just specific to the lacrosse teams? Oh, so you weren't kidding, Rico, because it looks like 18 hours ago, I didn't even see this. Tim Graham said 18 hours ago, after talking with a couple of sources, as I understand it, Terry Pegula is listening to offers for the Rochester Nighthawks because he already owns the Buffalo Bandits. Yep. He doesn't need two NLL teams. Nothing else is for sale. That was only 18 hours ago. Now, understandable. I didn't even know he owned the Nighthawks, so that's understandable, I guess. But 18 hours have gone by. Now he's trying to list 25%. Tim Graham's answer to that, totally understandable and fair to ask. I'm not pleased with what my sources told me and omitted yesterday. I'm also not entirely convinced anymore that a portion of the Sabres is not for sale too. Is there a fire sale going on over at
the? Everything's for sale. Something's up. Where there's smoke, soon to be fire. So this is going to be something that is going to be talked about at length. And I mean, listen, we're going all this chatter going into the next year to get into a new stadium. What's going on? 25% is not. It's not. He didn't sell 5% of the team. He sold 25% of the team.
Look at this, Rico. It's a working number, meaning that's not.
So it's not even concrete.
It's negotiable.
Yeah, it was not even concrete, bro.
The Pegulas are putting a chunk of the Buffalo Bills up for sale. The Bills confirmed to The Athletic that owner Terry Pegula, so the Bills confirmed it themselves, has hired Florida-based investment bankers Allen and Company to handle the potential transaction, but declined to say how much of the team is being sold. A source briefed on the discussion says the working figure is 25%, with the number not set in stone. You're building a new stadium that isn't even a tenth of the way done yet. It feels like an odd time, or maybe it's the best time to sell. That's when the money's going to start really pouring in.
Listen, he's a billionaire for a reason, right? And these billionaires move money, sell things, buy things. They just know how to make money. So this is probably just another, you know what I'm saying, way of, like you said, recouping what he bought the team for. And it's a working number, like you said. What does he plan to do with who knows? This is breaking news indeed. We're about to find out the severity of the sale of this, the 25%, the quarter sale of this team. This quarter of the team gone. To whom? We don't know. What they plan on doing. Like Pierre just said, 25% is cool, but you have no say. Now, if it was like a 50-51, obviously 50-51 still, you got no say. I'm the one that has, final say at anything. So 25% really doesn't mean much. Not necessarily.
You're in that strictly for the financial element of it.
1,000. You make a move like that, then yes.
So Tim Graham just clarified, it will absolutely not be a majority share of anything.
There you go.
So no matter what,
I wouldn't see that happening.
But this is still something. It's not every day you see any. I mean, there's only 32 of these, and it's the most lucrative business going right now. It's not every day you see any portion of these teams be listed, much less a team that's getting a new stadium and a team that's been, in major national relevancy for the last several seasons.
You think Tom Brady's got money like that? Is he a billionaire?
Well, he had money to get in on it with the Raiders.
You think he has something to do? I mean, listen, I'm speculating here, but everybody, I mean, listen, once you're done playing sports, you want to try to get into some kind of, be around the game a little longer. Does he, I mean, has he spoken to Pagula and say, hey man, I want in. Who knows, man? Listen, this is all speculation on how this is all going to play out, but that is something. 25% of the team sold. We just fought to have this team, you know what I'm saying, not be sold. And Pagula's became the saviors. They're keeping the team in Buffalo. The city's going to thrive, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Now 25% gone. What you up to, Pagula?
I mean, the more spoons you have in the pot, the more there is for stuff to get stirred up. Not that I think, I mean, the new stadium should be the lone reason to not think anything drastic's on the horizon, but it's still something. But I'll say with the potential of selling maybe a stake in the Sabres, the Nighthawks, could just be Pagula trying to get cash in hand, because it's not just one specific entity. It looks like he's trying to do a round robin here with all of his assets.
I know people don't want to hear it, but Tom Brady's been saying he wants to own a team. He's always been wanting to. Heck, maybe it's AB. Maybe Antonio Brown. he wants a piece of that. But, hey, you just never know, man. It might be player-driven. It might be a few NFL players putting their money together and saying, yo, we want this thing. And
I'd be cool with that.
You know what I'm saying? Who knows? Maybe, it might be Jim Kelly. Jim Kelly might want in. Shoot, you just never know, man. You just never know. Well, that is a way to kind of break that news and at the tail end of our show. I mean, shoot, that's something. Things obviously are going to materialize. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I guess we got to wait it out and see what all plays out.
Yeah, we'll put a fork in it there. That's a good way to end it. And like you said, if anything else major comes out, we'll be sure to hop right back on and talk about it. But yeah, very interesting.
Well, that's huge, man.
What's good this weekend, Rico? What are you up to?
Well, she's gonna be listening to it, so I was like, but the lady wanted to. Her parents are in Cuba, so they went and hung out. They went to Cuba to do their thing, so she wanted to go and drive to their place and go to a birthday party in the Valley, which is about an hour's drive. I was like, yo, I ain't trying to do that. Worked all week. I'm just trying to chill in my own house. And today's nice, so she goes, well, if we're gonna stay home, guess what you got to do? So she's been texting me. You got to put the trampoline up. I was like, bro, putting the trampoline up, it's going to rain tomorrow and the next day. But she's like, you're putting it up so the girls can have something to do. So guess what? Rico's on daddy duty. I got to go do my shit. She just called me Bot Junior just now.
Why?
Because she's like, look at you, 3-hour show, Bot Junior.
Yep. Yeah. Well, when you combine Bot Junior and Bot Senior, it's gonna be running for something.
Yeah, let's go. She got jokes, call me Bot Junior. I just read that just now. I was like, girl, you tripping. Bot Junior.
I love that. I freaking love it.
All right. Well, listen, folks.
Amazing.
Listen to Kim Betts. Kim Betts knows what's up. But I do, just before we get out of here, she can wait because I gotta appreciate you, Kim. There was a few things that I saved that I wanted to chit chat about. Fluffy Panda came in and says the real question is, when is BF buying that 25%? Hey, boy.
Pierre already put the card down for the Tapas. He might as well buy the Bills while he's at
it. Real talk, right? Pierre had a really interesting question he had, and I found that super interesting. I saved it. He says, the side debate here. He goes, if you've been with your spouse for say 10 years married, but you guys have been, you've been together 10 years, but you've been married for 7. Is someone ask you, how long have you been married? Do you just say 10 or do you explain the difference?
That's interesting because Caroline and I, if we'll be married for 2 years, we'll be 10 years total together.
So what do you say?
I'm saying 10 years.
You say, we've been married 10 years, or
I would just say we've been together for 10 years.
Yeah, but how long you been married?
If they get that specific with me, I'll be, we got married 2 years ago. But if they ask me, how long you guys been married for? I'll be, we've been together for 10 years. That's how I would answer.
I guess that's the proper answer. So for me, I always say the difference. We've been together but we've been married 10. I think we've been married 15. We've been married 15, and we've been together 17, almost 18 years. Crazy how I say that. That sounds freaking nuts. But anyway,
crazy.
That is crazy. Even though I just said it right now, I just freaked myself out. What? Yeah. That's weird. But yeah, we've been married 15. We're going on to year 15. Actually, we're going to year 15, and we've been together 17, almost 17, 18.
So you're close.
I explain the difference. Why do I do that? No idea.
So you're close. So I'm gonna have like a decade gap almost in between. So I feel like if you say, "Oh, we've been married for 2 years," people feel like, "Oh, you've been together for 2 years." But in reality, we'll have been together for a decade by that point. Interesting. I think my answer would be, "Oh, we've been together for 10 years," and then they specify, "Oh, how long you been married for?" We go, "Oh, we got married 2 years ago."
Yeah, because if you like you said, if they get specific, then you got to break it down. Sarah Christine says, if it was 9, I could say saying 10, but 7 isn't close enough in my opinion. So she's splitting the difference. Together 10, married 3. But then does that make a difference to someone? Like, who cares? I've been together with this man.
If someone answered it to me, if I said like, "Oh, how long you guys been married for?" and someone said to me, "Oh, we've been together for 10 years," I wouldn't further question it. I would just say, "Oh."
Together 10.
I wouldn't be like, "Oh, but how long you been married for?" Like, who the hell cares?
Yeah, exactly. Who does care? Pierre Keeper says, yes, just say you're married 10 years. Why sit there to explain?
I agree.
If I've been with you, if I've been married and we've been together that long, that's just what it is. Sometimes you feel like you have to differentiate when you were dating and how long you've been married. Some people, it's just in their brain, they're just like, oh, okay. Because like, I've been together 10. And then you're like, oh, but why? Like you said, why? What would someone say? But how long you been married? Nobody says that. Unless they come out straight up and say married 10, together 20.
I agree. I
It's
think
it's an interesting copy.
Big Tapas guy would want to clarify on the difference between the together and the marriage. That's how I see it.
Tapas guy for sure.
Yeah, he's monitor guy because he's got to get everything in.
Jersey guy would just say married 17, done.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I see it. There's one thing that I hate is when I go to what do you do, guy?
Oh, isn't it? It's the worst thing to talk about.
Hate it. What do you do, guy? And I always give the same answer every time. I dance.
Oh, I like
straight
that.
up. My wife, she hates when I say that. Why do you do that? Because what is the difference of what I do? You're trying to box me in on like, you know, how you gonna treat me? Nah, bro. So I say I dance. She's like, oh, you dance? And they just don't know what to say after that. And then
you can say whatever you want because they have no clue. You can just go forever on it.
I dance. They're like, oh, what kind of dance do you do? What do you think? And now it's a topic of conversation. I've got you off of what I do.
Nothing worse than spending your free time after working all week talking with people you don't know about what you did all week at work. Like, give me I got a news flash for you, pal. Start watching some sports. We'll talk about that.
Done.
Nothing worse than small talk with the guy who doesn't watch sports. Oh my God. Oh my God almighty.
I'm a Bills fan guy, but only watches the season when the season started. Knows nothing about what happened in the offseason. Doesn't know who we signed. Still thinks Nate Peterman's on the team. I'm a Bills fan guy.
I got a
buddy. Bills fan guy. Knock it off.
I'll talk to you later. Like that. He's not a Bills fan, but he claims he's a fan of one team and no clue. And it's just like, oh my God. Hey, you lose all credibility right there.
Say it again.
Like you lose all credibility right there. If you say like, if I were talking to you and you say you're a Bills fan, I'm like, what do you think about Diggs? And you're like, oh, I like him. I think he's been a great addition. And I'd just be like, what?
I just can't say it. But that's the one girl guy I hate. What do you do, guy? Or what do you do, girl?
What do you do, guys? Sucks.
Listen, get to know me as we're at this get together, having hors d'oeuvres and shooting the shit. Let's talk about some other shit. You gotta know what I do, because now I gotta talk about what I do at work. I'm not interested. Like you said, I'm not trying to talk about my work. Let's talk about something else. So that's why I say I dance. And now they're like, oh, what do you dance? Well, my wife lets me go on the weekends, and I make a little couple dollars on the side, and I bring it back home. Does she have a problem with it? Go ask her. What are you telling them?
That's really good. I need to start using that. Maybe I'll say OnlyFans.
Oh, done. OnlyFans. Fini. Silas says, yo, when they ask what you do, just say I rob people more successful than me.
Yeah.
And ask them what they do. Silas, you a fool.
You're
a fool, man. Yeah, what do you do? What do you do, guys? Yo, listen, one thing I would say, don't ask what you do. Let that organically come into conversation.
Yes.
Right? When something, I work, I was doing this, and I did da. Oh, what did you do? Oh, what do you? No. Oh, so what do you do for a living? Fuck off, man. Get out of here. What do you do for a living? I live.
And you want to know why that guy typically does it? So that you'll say, how about you? Well, I happen to be...
It's a flex. They're trying to flex. I don't want you to flex.
I'm partner down at Zbot and Associates law firm. And it's like, I don't give a shit, dude. Shit.
Facts. I'm not interested. God. What do you do, guy?
I hate when people set up questions just for you to ask that question back to them.
Aren't you going to ask me what I do? No.
No, I don't give a shit.
Real talk. Not in my lifetime. I don't want that. So if ever you get to that, what do you do part? Because sometimes your job is too complicated to explain as to what you do. No, knock it off, man.
Yeah. I couldn't agree more.
There you go. Confirmed. At OnlyBot. Done.
You do. OnlyBot. The hell is that? Google it, man. I don't know what to tell you.
We'll find out.
You're out of the loop.
We thank you guys very much for tuning in.
Big time.
It's been a great show. Listen, my wife just donned me Bot Jr. So not only will Bot Jr. be departing from the show, I got to go for a walk with the kids and all that because they've been texting me. We're going for a walk, Dad. Got it. And then when I go play video games later on, I'll have to ask my kids to bring my glasses because your boy's getting old.
Listen, you put the trampoline up, damn it. You better be able to get a couple of drinks from the kiddos and kick your feet up and play a little.
That trampoline, I have to take it down, put it up every damn year because we get storms here, and that wind will take that thing. So I gotta take that thing off. It's piss off.
It reminds me of my dad opening the pool every year. Nobody uses this damn thing. I can't believe it. Every year, you know. It's the best.
Yes, sir. Well, BBL Z-Bot and Associates. We'll talk to you.
Tell you what, business is booming, baby. It is booming.
BBL Bot. Brim Bot and Big Booty Bot is all up in there, man. So I can't wait. Listen, folks, we gotta wait till my man gets the jersey, and once he gets the jersey, it's on and popping, man.
Big time. And by the way, next Thursday, we'll be going live, I'm sure, throughout the week next week. But the big boy, the big daddy of them all, the BBL of shows, next Thursday night, first round for the first round of the draft, live here on the Buffalo Fanatics YouTube channel. It's going to be killer. And by the way, if you want to make that even more interesting, one more shout out to BetUS at the end here. 125% deposit match up to $2,500 on your first 3 deposits. We've gone through it on the show each week, and the reason we do is because the amount of props on there are killer. So if you're going to join us for the show, get in on those a little bit. By the way, 125% or $125 free play. DM me because we want people getting in on the action with us next week during the show. So $125 in free play, giving it away. First 5 people to DM me. $25
live. Like let's try to do some live betting during the show and all that stuff.
Oh, no doubt. I mean, because the draft's long. I mean, it's fun, but you want you want more rooting interest than just the Bills, and you got to wait 2.5 hours for the Bills. So it's great.
No question about it, folks. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Smash that like, whether you guys are on Twitter, follow, subscribe. You know what I mean? Hit that retweet or whatever y'all want to do.
Every damn button that's down there.
Click it all, man. Click it all, man. So we will catch you guys again next week.
We still
haven't found a name for the podcast, fam. We still haven't found a name, so y'all need to help us out. I'm trying to work something out, man.
Seriously, leave a comment below. We're still shopping names, so we're still running through the ideas. Leave us some in the comments. But until next week, much love. 3 hours in the books. Can't wait to see you next week. Enjoy your weekend, and go Bills.
Go Bills, baby.